Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
Feels like work. Shooting the shit for 2 hours, drinking beer and talking beer. What a wonderful experience.
Can we not have the barf bucket near my mixing board?
I think everybody could read the book.
I knew you were going to use this book as an excuse to quit doing this show.
Mrs. Bub, if you want, I can mail you the Bub Timer.
Yeah, Newcastle. Especially in the can. Have you ever had it in the can? No, I have not had it in the can.
Notice I closed my eyes and I concentrated really hard.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
That's right. And I predict meltdown tonight. I predict a strong meltdown occurring
already
in this studio.
This is the earliest prediction, for sure.
Why would you think that?
Because Doc is already trying to speak without a microphone in front of his face?
Because half the crew showed up drunk already. Our guest and I have been sitting here drinking since 4:30 or something.
Sounds about
already.
right.
So, I just predict meltdown, that's all.
All right.
Meltdown during Stormageddon 2014.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
Oh, that's still happening? I thought that was just that one day where it rained a little bit.
I know. I have family and friends, calling in because of the media's excellent coverage of the storm of the decade here in the Bay Area. Is everything okay? Are you guys all right? Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah, it rained.
Yeah.
And
well, they closed down schools in most of the Bay Area.
I saw that.
You couldn't go to school for fear of twigs.
Who can study when it's raining?
It's
We've been
tough.
in a drought long enough that people forgot what it was like when it rained 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
In California, it's bad enough when it rains. Everybody forgets how to drive. But never mind when the news spends a week telling us that death is on our doorstep, El Nino is knocking at our door, and then it rained for a couple days.
Yeah, that was it. It's pretty good.
It was interesting.
I had some twigs fall and a lot of leaves gathered on my lawn. It was terrible. I was traumatized. I had to call my therapist. I was like, look,
terrifying.
I don't know what to do right now. I feel like I have all the leaves and I don't need them. How do I share the leaves?
All of the neighborhood's leaves.
Yes, I don't know why.
My
you feel like
windshield
you're
wipers were
blocked
on
in.
medium speed.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't used to them actually moving back and forth.
It's frightening when you see
There's
that.
a medium speed?
Yeah. My car's real fancy.
Anyway, Stormageddon here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I like, people where it rains. Can you imagine people in Seattle where it rains all the time reacting to, really, you guys got 2 days of rain and a little wind in a row?
Yeah, or people on the East Coast who, like our guest tonight, who literally, their homes get buried in snow.
Yeah.
Like you have to dig your way out.
To go to work.
And they're going, oh, hey, everybody, it's raining in California.
Yeah.
Day off? What does that mean?
I did see an ad that said, hey, come up to Seattle where it rains less.
It's a good ad.
Yeah.
I like it.
Did you go? Did it work?
No.
It didn't work.
Nah,
I've
been there.
No.
Well, we got a great show planned for you tonight. Our in-studio guest tonight, Miss Angela Steil, has joined
Steil.
us. Oh, it's Steil?
It is. That German will mess you up. It's okay. Not the first person.
Steil. I've been calling Angela Steil even on the programs before.
Oh, wow.
I prefer
Check that out.
Steil. I would change it if I were you.
That's your showbiz name.
Yeah.
You can't blame me on this one either. I included that on the the outline.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh.
And when the I's at the second from the I and E.
It's always I?
It's always the second
do I
one.
know? Angela Steil, everybody.
There we go. Everyone has a nickname here.
Angela Steil is the world's youngest Cicerone at 21 years old.
It's true.
And that's pretty amazing. So we invited her to come be on the program.
Thank you.
So she'll be hanging out with us tonight, doing the whole thing. We're going to dick around like normal here in the first half hour, and then we'll talk about what it's like to be the world's youngest Cicerone. And she's going to teach us a little bit about tasting and some off flavors and things like that later as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. It is kind of amazing to me that how you can go from not drinking beer before you're 21 because it's illegal,
right,
to suddenly drinking beer and then becoming the world's youngest Cicerone. Like, you get so into it. It's amazing. So I really want to have that conversation later on.
We're going to find out all about that because I'm sure that she didn't do any research before the age of 21.
Well, why would you? Because you're not interested in beer because you don't know about it.
You can read when you're underage.
No. Well, most of us.
You can visit other countries.
Yeah.
You
And drink there?
You can ramp up.
Well, and Angela's from Michigan, so she's a little closer to another country. Anyway, she can go right up into Canada and drink there. So.
Or into Michigan.
We'll find out all about that. I did want to say, though, I feel like your choice of becoming the first Cicerone at 21 was a good choice because really, you can never be topped. There will never be a younger Cicerone. Unless it's a Cicerone in another country.
Or getting by
right?
taste.
Because you can't even take the test. You can't take the tasting portion of the exam if you're 20. So I feel like you really laid down your trump card early. You can never be dethroned.
I thought of this ahead of time, too. I planned it all out. A big overall plot.
You're like, fuck everybody else.
She's 12.
I'm doing it at 21.
Wait, I hadn't thought of that, though. I mean, can you be a Canadian 19-year-old and take the Cicerone exam?
I believe you can.
Yeah, Cicerone will take you?
Okay.
Well, it's surprising that hasn't happened yet, then.
Oh, it will.
Oh, it certainly will. Yeah, at least nationally, though.
So you'll always be the youngest American.
There you go.
Cicerone. American Cicerone, yeah.
Bring it home for old glory. That's what I like to hear about.
Yeah.
He's trying to start the slow clap.
Later on in life, when people think of Angela, they will think of the U.S. of A.
Like being the representative. That's
Yes.
I appreciate it.
You'll be all of the representative of
Speaking
the
of
U.S. of A.
things patriotic, I was being a good BN Army member and wearing my last year's Christmas sweater.
Nice.
And the BN Army portion is kind of right at the end of my beard.
Right, so that's your penis?
Right.
Yeah.
But I was walking through a crowd, and there was a lady that was going the opposite direction of me and said, "Thank you for your service." And I didn't even understand. I just kind of smiled and was like, okay. And then, like, in the crowd, and then we get too far apart from where and then I realized, oh, no.
I'm not
I was like, wait a second. And I turn around, and she's just way too far away. It's like,
Maybe she's a home brewer, and she appreciates the fact that you support home brewing.
Right.
Otherwise, otherwise, it was probably a very difficult compliment for her because she couldn't tell if you were like a deserting hippie or part of the army.
Right.
Well, if I was a part of the army, I'm a badass because the special forces are the only people that can grow beards.
Oh, is that right?
I have a feeling even
that.
then that you know not anything that can get long enough to get caught in action.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you have corrected her if you understood, if your brain had a lot of thinks and stuff, and you had corrected her, like you knew what she was talking
But
about?
you said, "Oh no, I'm nothing."
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'm not that cool.
Oh no, I'm just a guy.
Yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah.
But since I couldn't, I'm going to pass it on to all the actual BN Army people that are service members.
Okay.
There we go.
Somebody thanked me for thanking you.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
just let it go because her thank you would have been meaningless if you would have corrected her.
Exactly.
Sure, and it just would have made her feel bad.
Yeah, let her have her moment.
Yeah.
I don't actually deserve your gratitude, lady.
Yeah. Besides, she didn't even realize that you can actually hide ISIS
We know
members in
that.
your beard.
we know that.
Yeah. Some brewed all brewed some. You know what I mean?
Do you ever flip that beard over your shoulder?
The wind does it sometimes.
Stormageddon will do that shit for you.
Yeah. All last
That's
week.
the worst thing that happened in Stormageddon. I saw it on the news last night. Beardy's beard goes over his shoulder.
It was real annoying. I was real annoyed all Thursday because of Stormageddon.
Yeah, Stormageddon 2014. Beardy's beard got undone. All right, what else do we have going on for you today? Let me make a couple of announcements. Winter Brews Festival tickets are on sale now. It's January 24th here in Concord, right across the street from the Hop Grenade in Toto Santos Park. You can go to bnbrewfest.com right now. There is a lovely video there. If you might find yourself in the video if you went to last year's Winter Brews Festival. But you can also buy tickets now. They're on sale. And until December 24th, we are picking up the service fees for you. So you can save a little cash by ordering early. Go to bnbrewfest.com. You can also do your holiday shopping in the BN store. Get some T-shirts. Angela's wearing a lovely Hop Grenade T-shirt, or tank top today, actually.
Thank you, Justin.
So you can go to the Hop Grenade, thebrewingnetwork.com/store and shop there. Actually, you can also buy Hop Grenade merch at the Hop Grenade store. So
Sure.
all sorts of Christmas shopping to be done. You can grenade yourself out. This week at the Hop Grenade Tap Room, we've got Drake's Barrel Night. Drake's is coming in and bringing us barrels from their barrel house that usually don't ever leave the barrel house. So we're excited to have them. And
Really?
we're doing, they don't send a lot of their barrel beer out. You got to go to the barrel house to get it. Every now and then they do an event. I'm not saying this is the only one, but it's kind of few and far between.
Hell yeah.
And the barrel manager, the program manager, is coming out to do a little education. So you get a flight of barrel beers, and he's going to tell us all about them, and you can learn about the beer that way.
How many?
I think it's 4. It's a flight of 4 different
good.
barrel beers. And then, of course, you can buy the beers after that. But you'll get 4 4-ounce tastes in the flight, plus some education from the barrel manager. That's this Wednesday at the Hop Grenade. I think it starts at 7. So come out and see us. I'm going to be here because I love me some good Drake's barrel beer.
Yeah.
Drake's is such a great brewery.
That's true.
They're
I
just
don't think you have to say good Drake's barrel beer. You just say Drake's. Yeah.
You're right.
Thank you.
Good stuff there. All right, another way to support us is by doing your shopping on Amazon. I know a lot of you have gifts to buy, and you use Amazon anyway, so just click the Amazon link in our homepage and then go on about your business. You won't even know that we're there. Do you have a Amazon product?
But we
of the
will
week?
be there.
But we're watching.
Just like at night when you're sleeping.
We won't even know we're there.
This week's product of the week is actually a tip of the week, courtesy of listener Todd Bearden, who wrote in and said, I have an Amazon tip for everyone that I thought I should pass along. Instead of going to your website each time and clicking the Amazon link, I just copied that address, and I used that for my Amazon bookmark. So anytime I click on that to go to Amazon and shop, it uses your link, and I can support the BN. I've spent thousands of dollars on Amazon over the past year, and I hope that it helps because I love what you guys do, and I've learned a lot from all of the BN shows. It does help, Todd.
Yeah.
And a word to the wise.
It helps a ton. Thank you for the good advice, and thanks to all of you who do that already.
Hey, Todd.
Get all these updates and more.
I know Todd.
Stacey's awake.
There you go. All the Todds.
Did you give Todd's last name?
Bearden.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, there could be a million Todds, Stacey.
He knows all Todd.
Minimum, I think, a million Todds.
All right, get all these updates and more over on Twitter and Facebook. Send your show ideas over to Scott the Jew. That's Scott at thebrewingnetwork.com. And send your feedback to feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com. Do we have a Twitter game tonight?
Yes, we do, Justin.
Twitter game's brought to you tonight by Moonlight Meadery. You can pre-order Utopian right now. It's only the 4th batch they've ever done. I think it barrel ages for something like 2 years
Millennia,
or more.
I think.
But it's in extremely limited supply. Michael from Moonlight Meadery was in here the other night.
Yeah.
I saw him, and I don't quote me on this because I screwed up these things all the time. But I think he said there's only something like 100 cases available.
Yeah, he doesn't,
or less.
because I think he gets maybe 1 or 2 of those Utopias barrels.
Okay.
And so he can't do that much. So they're super rare.
Got it. So Utopian, you can go to moonlightmeadery.com and pre-order right now, but it's being released very soon. So if you want a bottle of that good mead stuff from Moonlight, go check it out right now.
You can also go to moonlightmeadery.com/BNArmy, and you can get 15% off bottled purchases.
Wow.
Which normally, if you buy a case, you get 15% off, which is like a winery discount.
Okay.
But he's passing it on for bottles as well. So check that out. Head over and get yourself some Moonlight Mead.
I love it. All right, what's our Twitter game?
Well, I don't know if anybody has heard this or not, but Santa Claus has passed away.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
was that in the news?
But not well. It just happened. I have a Google alert, and I found it on a subreddit.
It was usurped by the storm coverage.
Uncle Nick is dead?
Okay, that's true. What are the key words?
So he's not coming to town.
Well,
dead and Santa?
Well, the problem is, there was a candy cane explosion.
Oh.
He got hot candy cane melt on his face.
Well, that's gotta hurt.
Skeletized, and it was a whole thing, right? So the elves have actually
I've had hot candy all over my face before, and let me tell you.
I know, he is really something, let me tell you.
He's not that hot.
Yeah. And so the elves have now completed their search for a Santa Claus. So this year, Beardy Claus is coming to town.
Oh, I love Beardy Claus.
Yeah. So I would like to know what Beardy Claus is going to bring all the nice girls and boys this year.
Okay.
He only has 10 more days, 9 more sleeps to figure it out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What a great Twitter game.
Who's going to drive my sleigh? Because I'm not.
Well, you
Isn't
know
your
what?
sleigh a scooter?
Right. Yeah, my little red scooter.
So it has to fit with Beardy Claus and his little red scooter.
Well,
Keep that in mind.
presumably you would use Santa's sleigh and, you know.
I'd get his ride.
Yeah.
And all the magical powers that go along with it.
You're Santa Claus. Come
Okay.
on, Warren. Don't overthink this like everything else in your life.
All right.
He uses Amazon like the rest of us.
He sends it via
What
Prime.
am I going to send you from Amazon?
Can you imagine if Beardy Claus clicked through the BN link for every Christmas?
Every
My
child
God.
in the world?
That'd be it.
Santa makes all the toys.
We could retire.
Come on,
No,
guys.
the elves do.
Okay.
The elves make all the toys.
I'm just going to sit and eat cookies and milk, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can do that.
And bad bowel movements.
All right, so what would Beardy Claus bring us, or all the boys and girls? What a great Twittergram, JP.
Hey, thanks. I can tell the sincerity is just oozing off of you.
No, I like it. It's a good one. All right, let's do a little feedback, shall we, Doc?
Yeah.
All right. Feedback's brought to you today by our good friends over at Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com. John at Beer Law Center takes care of the Hop Grenade trademark, and he has to work his ass off to do so. And he can take care of your trademark, too. And don't be fooled. If you have a decent logo or a decent name, it will be stolen. So
absolutely,
let Beer Law Center take a look at it. If it hasn't been stolen yet, you might think about rebranding.
It's not worth it.
Just putting it out there. All right. Feedback. There's an Aussie Nathan Smith. I was confused for a second because I couldn't tell if this was from our feedback from our very own Nate.
So I thought Nate snapped for a second. And he's writing in the third person. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's his pen name. All right, well, the Aussie Nathan Smith writes in, "Hi, guys. I just caught up with the most recent shows after a 2-year show binge, and I'd like to thank you guys for your endless entertainment and laughs. It's been a major help in getting through my shitty divorce." Do you have to add shitty to divorce, too?
No,
you
you
just
don't.
No,
say,
that's just a qualifier.
It's always there.
You have to add amicable if you had a good one, but
That's
you don't have to add
That's true.
shitty.
The other way.
If it's nice, you gotta say shit.
But then he goes on to say, "You guys are costing me a bomb. Because of you, Justin, I've been really getting into sour beers. A bottle of Cantillon costs upwards of $30
Oh,
here.
my goodness.
What?
$30?
Why is it that all other beers, like Budweiser, for example, in Australia, are overpriced and expensive, but Cantillon is like, that's cheaper than we get it?
Yeah.
$30.
But I'm happy to pay for it because they're just as amazing as you guys describe.
Yeah.
JP, you rock.
Oh, thank you.
Please spare a few minutes to share your WOD experience. What is that?
That's Warlords of Draenor, and it's the new World of Warcraft expansion. Thank you very much.
And your thoughts on the new X-Pack. What's that?
It's the expansion. It's Nerd Talk. So I've really enjoyed it. You can build your garrison,
right,
and you
that's
kind of go
enough.
through. No, but then you have little guys you can like harvest. So if you're not an herbalism, you can go get herbalism, and you can do all that kind of stuff.
digital garden in WOD.
I did.
And so now I can grow herbs for my
Frostweed.
minotaurs and my dinosaurs and my other sores.
No, my bed sores because they do not move very much.
WOD is the greatest X-Pack I have ever seen.
It is actually really good. I really do enjoy it. So, keep on keeping on, bro.
How many hours of your life, just in the month of, let's say, November, did you spend on WOD?
Did I blow on my WOD?
Did you blow on your WOD?
You're blowing on what?
Honestly, not very many. I haven't had a lot of time to play it.
Okay.
So I'd say probably 190,000.
Okay, so not as much as you used
Right,
to.
yeah.
Well, that's good.
No, I generally know when you're online
Yeah.
because I roll through the family room and one of my kids go, "Oh, JP's online."
You play with Doc's kids?
Oh, no, he's talking PlayStation 3.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
Doc's kids and I are friends. But,
WOD is not on PlayStation 3?
WOD is on my Macintosh.
Yeah, that's new, but it's when he's.
So what do you do with the kids? Like Minecraft?
Yeah, we Minecraft. No, another game, Red Dead Redemption, because Doc's kids were talking trash one day, and then I played them once, and they left and never came back.
This is the saddest thing
Hey, Doc's kids
I've ever
suck.
heard.
Hey, JP
it's a high point in my
found
life.
redemption in violating Doc's 13-year-old children.
Red Dead Redemption,
online.
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Finally, Aussie Nathan Smith says, "I'm pretty bummed I missed you guys when you came out here. Sounds like you had a good time, and happy to know a lot of our beer holds up. Sincerely, the Aussie Nathan Smith." Thanks for writing in, buddy. Hi, Studio ADD. I listen to the Android app at my job because I don't get to sit at a desk very often. But at the moment, it seems that the app is only playing the session shows from the Hop Grenade and some of the Martinez shows. Is it in the works to get the rest of the session shows added, et cetera, et cetera? Yes, I'll put them all in the rotation. Yeah, there's less in rotation than there should be. Cheers and beers from Sam. Dear gentleman and lady. That's you, Beardy.
Hi.
I listened to the November 10th Experimental Brewing podcast. Great work. Don't get me wrong, I love me a good meltdown, but the overall news segment, intelligent discussion, and sensible fun that y'all had throughout the night was excellent. Even the slurring Dr. Scott was under control.
Wait, that's an oxymoron. I can't be under control and slurring at the same time.
Augustina Barina.
Yeah. I don't really remember if that was a good show or not. I remember I like our guests, but...
I think it was fun.
Okay.
Yes, it was a
funny
good
and
show
it was fun
had by all.
All right, he's got a couple of questions that he says may be appropriate for the end of the year. You've added the show, The Sour Hour. Are there any other new programs or ideas for the networks? Yes. All right.
Great.
Moving along.
Yeah.
I think we have 2 new shows in the works, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a really good idea from a Doze member the other night. He brought it up at the Doze Homebrew Club Christmas party that I went to, and then sent me a follow-up with a whole outline for what the show would be. I'm not going to reveal anything
Wow.
yet, but it was an awesome idea, and I'm going to follow up and hope that he can execute it for us.
How to beat the Brewing Network Club next year?
Yeah, that's going to be a whole show. You know that we would air that show. I'm down with airing that show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Brew that, bitch.
Yeah.
We should have that as a ramp-up to first round deadlines. How to beat the
Brewing Network.
How to beat the Brewing Network.
Good idea.
Thank you.
And then Doc's got a show in the work. Doc's and Nate. We won't talk about it, but they're working on a show idea as well.
And again, that was by a listener that texted me, and he said, hey, what do you think about this?
Okay.
And a couple of times he's pushed me on this one. It's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. So look for those 2 new programs in 2015. And let's see. Finally... He says, I know you have limited production, et cetera, but as a fan of the show, I humbly ask, nay beg, for a regular production and uploading of that other show, Lunch Meat.
Mm-hmm. Bevo, please.
No.
I've listened to the entire Lunch Meat catalog on iTunes, and I find it to be a combination of comedy, gold, and intelligent banter. I don't think he was listening to our Lunch Meat.
I've listened to all of it, and I don't notice the second at all.
There's no way that was our lunch. Is there another Lunch Meat? Do I have to sue somebody?
I think there's a Lunch Meat with 2 E's, not with an E and an A.
That's
we
stupid.
so cleverly decided on.
As an employee, am I required to be at that show?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this cat's like, IQ 20, and then he learned a couple things. He's like IQ 22, and he's like,
intelligent.
It's great. You guys elevated my intelligence level.
Yeah, I never thought of boobs that way before, but you guys really, you really put them into perspective.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of stuff on Facebook lately. Lunch Meat this, Lunch Meat that.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if there was some underground crap going on that somebody knows about that I don't.
No, this just happens without us. I feel like if we bring Lunch Meat back, it'll become less popular.
The ball is rolling and it's snowballing into something bigger.
Into critical mass?
Yes, you better do something quick.
The last episode or 2 haven't been put on the website yet.
Well, the last episode, which I will admit was the funniest episode we've ever done, the audio's all jacked up.
Yeah.
Because I was still going through studio woes. I could put it up like that, but it just sounds real bad.
You have a point, though, about keeping things off the air to keep their popularity high.
Yeah.
Seinfeld has never been more popular than it is in 2014.
Right.
It's been off the air for 20 years.
See?
So this is the last session, is what
10.
you're saying?
Yes, we'll never
way
be
we're-
doing this show again
Right.
either. Yeah. Anyway, he goes on to say, P.S. Bevo, you're a wonderful human being with an adorable daughter and Sam.
Oh, that's very nice.
There you go. All right, Craig writes in, good morning. I'm trying to buy tickets to the Winter Brews Festival through Eventbrite, but the festival isn't showing up. Did the tickets sell out? They did not, Craig. Go to bnbrewfest.com. You can click right through. bnbrewfest.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Admire the guy's dedication, though.
I do like
He's
it, yeah.
determined to buy a ticket. Good man.
Yeah. All right, Sean writes in, hey, guys, I listen to you all the time at work. It brings me great pleasure. I was on the verge of mental breakdown today, so I threw on some Lunch Meat, and it brought me back down to a level where I decided that I was not going to smash my computer to tiny bits, so thank you.
Yeah.
Who picks these emails?
I do. It's weird, right?
Yeah. Do you want Lunch Meat
Randomly.
to come back?
Yeah.
Honestly, they're not cherry picked at all. We don't
Good.
get.
We don't get enough mail to do that.
We don't get like 1,000.
It all goes in the box.
It all goes in. What do you want?
All right, Dave writes in, Dear Brewcasters, would it be possible to establish a Google Calendar on the website with all the BN shows and events? No.
It's the
with lunch meat.
The show schedule's there. It's there in the bottom left corner.
Go to thebrewingnetwork.com, scroll down to the bottom. All right, and finally, Matt from Virginia. I'd love it if y'all did a behind-the-scenes show about the Brewing Network. You do a great job pretending that you barely work, but I know there must be a huge amount of effort into every show. I can feel my hope dying inside as I write this, but I can't be the only curious one. Yeah. I'm interested as a business owner and also one of those jerks who watches shows like How Stuff Works. And he gave topic ideas.
Yeah.
Such as?
Acquiring guests, pre-interviews, beer. That's you, Moscow.
He wants me to record my
that
pre-interviews?
Would be your segment.
Oh, prepare to be underwhelmed.
Yeah. Planning for interviews.
Wow.
There was that one time that happened.
That one's
Yeah.
funny. That one's hilarious. Somebody wrote me this week saying, hey, you guys do really good interviews. Are there any books available, or do you have any advice on how to do good interviews? And I had to admit, I was like, I have no fucking idea. And I can't, and I've never sat down and thought about how we do interviews either. They just happen. I could not give him a single piece of advice.
Don't ask shitty questions.
Yeah.
I was like,
just be interested.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you got to do.
You have to be genuinely interested what their answers are.
But like a lot of people interview with, this enormous list of questions, and I can't do that.
Not me neither.
In fact, it'd be a terrible interview if we did it that way. We have about 4 questions. And then to me, every question just comes from the answer.
Exactly.
And whatever happens next.
That's what happens when you're just when you're preoccupied with your next question. You're not really listening to their answer because you're just worried about when you're going to ask that next question when you have that list in front of you.
Well, that's true, although I don't listen anyway. Yeah, exactly. That being said, so I was like, but not everybody can do that. Like think on the fly with the next question. So, but I still was.
Well, it's a talent for
Well,
sure.
If you can't, I can't help you.
You're always reading off that big sheet in front of you, all those questions.
Yeah, Scott and I are pumping you questions daily.
Oh, there's nothing in front of him.
Nothing.
Zero.
Who is your favorite interviewer?
Oh,
besides you,
all time.
Yeah.
Right. Lauren Welk, what do you want?
Clearly me.
Right.
Clearly.
I guess it's
Barbara Walters.
Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
You make good beer for me.
It's Howard Stern and Adam Carolla.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mine is Howard Stern and Ron Bennington. From
I don't
Ron
even
and
know who
Fez.
that is.
I know. He's on XM.
Okay.
Great. Like, gets to the heart. Like, a lot like Stern.
Yeah.
Just gets to the heart of the person and doesn't talk about, like...
Show me your boobs?
Well, doesn't do that. But, like, just, influences. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like to the background of the person. It's actually a real interview instead of what are you plugging right now, like most people interview.
That's why I like Howard Stern. I'm
Very
not
good.
really talking about his stripper interviews, but his celebrity interviews, he strips everybody down to like he just gets them to open up. And just say, he makes everybody comfortable and has a normal conversation. It's not really an interview. Everybody who goes in there ends up feeling like they're having a conversation, which I feel is what most people feel like when they come in here. When they leave, they go, oh, it was like a conversation.
Guess I'll find out.
And that's Angela will be like, no, actually it sucked. And I didn't.
These guys are terrible, and I'm going to murder them all.
A couple more.
Okay, on here, one thing is that there's no agenda. We don't have to sell something.
Right.
We don't have to kiss anybody's ass.
Yeah.
And it's just about let it flow, and it just seems to work.
Yeah.
And when you do kiss ass, try Certs. Yes, that's right, Certs.
We know.
This answer brought to you by Certs.
We know things about the interviewee ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it just gives us a little background.
Like, for example, Angela's a furry. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Sweet.
We found it in a random forum called GrandRapidsFurries.com, and we were like, "Oh, that's
somewhere.
That's Angela."
Full furry, or are you partial?
You didn't see how I labeled that? I labeled that. That was under the Scott wishes this were true section.
Oh, I see. That was different.
That was not a fact.
You guys are so creepy.
Yeah. Thank you.
We were doing so well.
Well, that's what makes a good interview.
Anyway, so I
Creepiness.
thought of doing the behind-the-scenes show, right? And then I realized how incredibly boring it would be. Don't you think it would? Like, we're sort of boring people.
Have you ever seen the Weird Al Behind the Music, the VH1?
No.
It's all parody, and I think that would be amazing.
Oh, so we could do it that way. That might be good.
Yeah.
Is this Spinal Tap? Something like that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Even though I just totally blew it, and now everyone's going to know.
People are stupid.
Yeah, the people will still fall for it.
They'll forget about
for
it?
sure.
Yeah.
We got to get Matt Brindleson on this.
People still believe the Onion article, so I'm
Right.
Well, because half the time,
Yeah.
an article comes out a year after The Onion wrote it, and it's like on ABC News. It's true.
Yeah.
The Onion is basically Nostradamus.
I do love the idea of the parody version, and I like getting real brewers, like esteemed brewers like Matt and Vinny or whatever, to do like that serious darkroom interview.
Yeah.
You know, where they talk about us too, but we've just fed them the lines.
Or like
to
it's
say.
the one weird issue that they've ever had, like, you know, telling a story, like I don't know, the stripper pole or whatever, just some like big event in BN history, and they're like, it was a real dark day.
It's a dark moment in Brewing
Justin
Network.
was during the break. He was in the bathroom doing rails and cutting himself, and we just really, you know, shit like that.
I kind of like this idea.
Doc was trying to cheer him up, but we just wouldn't. Wouldn't have any of it.
Here, do another line, bro.
Yeah. Anal pumps, dude. It's great.
You got one more segment, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Just do it. We got to get it.
So if we do it that way, I'm in. But a normal, like, behind-the-scenes
No,
with
it'd be
us-
super boring.
Yeah.
I mean, what you see
So,
on the show
JP, what do you
is
think
most
about
of
today's
what we
show?
do.
Well, yeah, I rolled in here today, and you were
drinking,
freaking boring, and you know it's great.
I'm a
to
very
see.
boring individual.
Yeah. Oh, hey, he's sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him. He's sitting at the table. He's got his glasses on, and
Yeah.
you know he's ready to go into the show.
Same place he
working
was
it
a
up.
week ago.
Yeah.
Like Doc's play-by-play.
Yeah. And now he moved his arm.
Super literal. Just buy the book. That's what it is. This
Yeah.
is historical fact right now.
So we could either do the actual documentary and show them how boring we really are, or do the parody, you know.
Let's get
Parody.
push-up here.
Parody all the way.
We could make
Yeah.
the real version like just the extras in the parody. If you want to know what actually happens, watch the extras.
Instead of the reverse where all the bloopers are at the bottom, it's just the actual seriousness.
Well, why don't you think about how this parody would work, JP? Because I'd be interested in your ideas.
Push and I are all over
and maybe we could make it happen.
All right.
Beardy's beard has to be longer, though.
Yes. All right, don't forget, feedback's brought to you today by BeerLawCenter.com. That's all we have for the feedback segment today. Well, how about this? I think we should take ourselves a little break. Maybe freshen up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doc brought lines in the bathroom.
It's on the way.
There's a line for the bathroom?
Yeah, you should get more toilets.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Angela Steil, everybody. That's right, Steil.
I thought it was Steele.
It's Steil.
Now I'm confused, guys. I don't know.
You're going to leave here going, fuck.
You're going to find yourself.
In California,
What did we settle on
it's
again?
a little different.
All right, so we'll be right back with the youngest Cicerone in the universe, Angela Steil. When we come back, we're going to talk about being a Cicerone, how she got into this whole beer thing, and we've got some cool tasting games to play. 888-401-BEER if you got questions. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Do you support the Brewing Network? Do you brew your own? Are you looking for an economical, fun, and legal way to do both? Subscribe to Brew Your Own magazine and do just that. All year long, Brew Your Own will surprise you, entertain you, and educate you with articles on beer and brewing from authors like the Brewing Network's very own Jamel Zagashev and John Palmer. Each issue is a full pint of brewing techniques, homebrew stories, tips and photos, projects to make yourself, and recipes for the avid home brewer. Get your tough questions answered by Mr. Wizard. and polish your style accuracy with DeVille. A portion of every subscription goes to the Brewing Network, so subscribe today at byo.com/Brewing Network, or just click the BYO logo on the Brewing Network homepage and support a fantastic hobby and your favorite broadcaster. Brew your own, the How-To Homebrew Beer Magazine.
Are you a member of the American Homebrewers Association? Well, you should be. Members of the AHA can focus on brewing beer, and the AHA takes care of the rest. The American Homebrewers Association advocates on behalf of homebrewers like you to legalize the hobby in all 50 states and make sure that beer laws make sense. Plus, there are many great benefits that come with your AHA membership, like pub discounts that give you awesome deals at bars, restaurants, breweries, and more. Zymergy Magazine and eZymergy for tons of articles, how-tos, easy-to-follow recipes, and news about the hobby you love. And access to the members-only content on homebrewersassociation.org. But the AHA can't do it without your support. Join today so the American Homebrewers Association can keep fighting for your home brewing rights. Visit homebrewersassociation.org or join right now from the homepage of the Brewing Network website. Relax. Don't worry. It's the American Homebrewers Association.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry. And to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
Tuned into this session because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot of fun to have with you tonight. Angela Steil is in the studio hanging out with us, all the way from beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan.
It's true.
That's where we met at the National Homebrewers Conference this year, I guess.
Yeah, just about 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's right. And at that time, had you just become a certified Cicerone?
I passed the exam on March 19th of this year.
Explain to our audience, in case they hear about Cicerone here on the program all the time, but just in case somebody has not heard, what is a Cicerone?
Well, one of the easiest ways to describe it is being like the beer equivalent of, say, a wine sommelier. If you think of the root of the word and the actual meaning of the word too, it's a tour guide. So in a sense, you're guiding people through their palate experience with beer, and preferably with beer and food as well.
Okay.
And you must encompass knowledge of every facet of the industry in order to become that beer steward.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say knowledge of every facet, so it's not just tasting. It's not just knowing what you're tasting. You have to know how beer's made, a bit about the industry. In fact, you and I even were talking about draft systems earlier today. You have to know about that as well.
Absolutely.
Draft system's one of your favorite part of the process.
I know. I was never expecting that, but it's been a real treat to be able to work with them quite extensively, and I hope to do that a lot more in the future and start building them myself.
Turns out Angela's kind of like a hands-on gadget nerd, likes all of the mechanical aspects of a draft system.
Yeah, that's great.
The only thing that I found where I actually like to work with my hands, though, is with draft systems.
Yeah.
But I always say that my main emphasis of study currently is beer and food pairings and draft systems.
Okay, got it. Well, if ours breaks tonight, you feel free to go fix it.
All right, I'm on it.
If you're into that.
Maybe get him to pour a little bit faster for us. The slowest faucets in the world. I don't know.
Get in there and do it.
You have to call ahead for a beer, so you get it for you. It's time to go.
However, they pour perfectly for our staff, and that's what we really care about, is our staff.
And our paying customers.
Yeah. So, all right, and so what made you get into beer? And obviously, this age thing is
a hot topic.
Yeah, well, it's important because people are trying to figure out. So, wait a second. At 21, how long have you been into craft beer in order to pass this Cicerone?
Yeah, well, I honestly say since I was 19, but at the same time, too, if you think about it, I had to encompass a lot of theory and a lot of book knowledge in order to actually understand what it is I'm tasting. Because you can come in and taste all day, but if you're not searching for something in particular, like, say, for instance, even like a Scotch ale has a very light a hint of smoke to it.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know that originally, so you'd be like, okay, this is just another very malt-forward beer. Instead of actually searching for that and trying to maybe even pick out the alcohol content of the beer and trying to, okay, I think this is about maybe 7%, so maybe this is Scottish ale rather than a Scotch ale, or, something of that nature. So you need the beer knowledge of styles and history, and their history, in order to come in, I think, and be able to actually break down beers to start.
So did you start studying that history before 21? You did?
Immediately, okay. Yeah. When I was 19, I started doing so. It was, just over 2 years ago.
What is the thing that got you excited about beer that you would want to spend your time researching like this?
I will always remember this. The Echtlinkeller Rauchbier Märzen, that smoked Rauchbier from the Bamberg region of Germany.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of smoked beverages are my absolute favorite. But I remember I had that with a smoked pork entree. And that pairing together was so, this sounds corny to say, but transcendent for me. It was a really beautiful experience. I kept wondering, how on earth can I keep doing this again? And so a week later, I looked up and found that I found the Cicerone program. And I had seen, actually, that a new Master Cicerone had been announced. And I decided right then and there that I would like to become a Master Cicerone. So
who was the new Master Cicerone?
Nicole
Ernie.
Nicole. Actually, she was.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's actually the proctor for my Cicerone exam too. It was really nice to meet her then, and since then we've kept up with some correspondence in the meantime, which has been really wonderful.
I thought she was going to come out tonight, but instead we got Nate.
Yeah. You get stuck with me. Sorry to let you down.
She's not parking the car? What's she doing?
She sent me over and said, you go handle that. I'm going to hang out here. All right.
Go handle that scandal, Nate.
Yeah.
That's good to see you, Nate. It's been a while, actually, since we've had you in here. So.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
You picked a good show. We've got some tasting to do later on with Angela that I think we'll have some fun with you doing it, too.
Yeah, I remember meeting Angela at Vivant, and we were all in Grand Rapids. We went and hung out there for a while in the afternoon. You've moved on to a new gig in town in Grand Rapids since I met you.
What do you do? What is the life of a Cicerone?
So in this case, I'm the house certified Cicerone and beer director there. We have a 64 tap list as well. So I'm in charge of the beer program there, picking the beers for obviously our taps, pulling together how exactly that's structured. Because I have a multifaceted system wherein because we have so many taps, you can't have them all rotating. That would be a nightmare.
That's true.
And then your clientele can't keep up with it, nor I wouldn't be able to either.
Yeah.
So I have 44 mainstay beer styles that I pull together so that people can start understanding classic examples of various beer styles, because many people in that area too, they don't understand what is a Flanders red ale. Oh my God, that's crazy, that's ridiculous. It's a Rodenbach Cru in this case, and we're probably very used to beer styles like that, but for this new audience, it's very, very new. So I have these 44 mainstay beer styles. They will not change. The beer styles won't change, but the beers and breweries representing those styles change every quarter.
Okay.
So they're still rotating.
Oh, that's
however,
cool.
I have new representations so that people, like, if they come in, I really love that Dry Irish Stout. I would love to have that same one again. Well, we don't have that one in particular, but we have another one representing that style, so you can still have that same palate experience that you're looking for. And then our 20 beers that are left over are constantly rotating, keeping up with seasonality. And so we have our ADD beer crowd is being taken care of.
Good.
And then
that's our whole crowd.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I have to pay attention to them as well. But we have a big mixture, especially in Grand Rapids, Michigan, wherein the beer scene is very, very new. Very, very new, but it's very enthusiastic.
It is. I described it when we came home from the Homebrewers Conference from Grand Rapids, is that it's this tiny city, but it has all of these awesome places to go eat and drink, like several different beer bars, but they're not overcrowded because it's this tiny city. So it's the only small city I've seen that has that robust of a beer environment. Usually that would be in a big city.
Yes.
Right? And so all of those 10 places or whatever, I mean, I only went to something like that, would be packed in a big city. But there, it's kind of a really comfortable environment to go to a bunch of different cool places. Usually a city that size, in my experience, will have one, maybe two great beer spots. Not the amount that Grand Grand Rapids has.
And where did we drink most nights?
At a total non-beer place. What was it called? Z's.
Oh, man. Oh, that's
we
funny.
spent the whole week at Z's. Because at first they had karaoke, which we just thought was great. And then we just were tired and drunk.
And it was across from the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, dude, listen, Z's. Angela, if you're ever looking for something to do on a Wednesday in Grand Rapids.
Or a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Sunday.
Sorry, what's the place called that you now run the beer program?
Gravity Tap House Grill.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's new. You just opened.
A month
Angela,
ago.
A month ago.
You've got 64 taps pretty much to babysit. You got people
Certainly.
rolling in there. You're supposed to educate.
Yeah.
What happens when you're not there? Do you have a second in command?
I do not know. Besides being in charge of these tap lists, I'm also in charge of staff education. So I had a 4-hour course just to start with the new staff, and then after that, getting into more beer classes over time, and doing even beer classes for the general public as well. But most nights, I'm there 5 nights a week, and I'm enacting as Cicerone on the floor, just like a wine sommelier would be, which is relatively new even for Cicerones. You don't often see that. Usually, Cicerones are distributors or work for distributing companies.
So what does that mean? You're actually going to tables and serving them beer and talking with them about the beer, basically, or making recommendations, things like that?
Exactly. Actual bottle service. I don't make it pretentious or anything like that, but I want to give the same respect to beer that one would wine. And with wine, excuse me. But yeah, definitely being there to answer any questions that they have, because plenty do, and you get a lot of beer geeks who come in asking brewing questions or draft line questions, something like that.
Sure.
And a lot of people who just never had new beer styles before say, "Oh, I don't like beer." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll be right back."
I love that.
Me too. It's my favorite answer, my absolute favorite answer, because I've proven over and over and over again, you do like beer. It's the most diverse beverage in the world. There is going to be something for you on our list.
Sure. So what does a 4-hour staff training look like? Obviously, you don't have to give me the whole rundown, but
a drunken mess.
Yeah. What are you really going over with the staff to make sure that they're qualified to your standards?
Right. So I actually start off the class by giving everyone a small sample of beer. I tell them to not talk to each other and to write down absolutely everything that they observe about the beer. They kind of struggle with it at first. And then when I go into the class, it's a big emphasis on proper beer sales, as well as finding adjectives so you can start describing beers, because you can teach people beer styles all day, but that comes second. First, you need to have adjectives so you can start describing what you're tasting, because when you're coming to tables, and I feel like this is very important to becoming a Cicerone and even Master Cicerone as well, is you need to have an opinion. This is a very subjective subject.
Right.
Everyone has to come up and be like, well, I personally get these tasting notes and I recommend this. If you have recommendations, if you're coming up to guests, not insulting their taste, but giving your own opinion, that's all people want. They don't want you to upsell them. They want you to give your opinion and find something that's going to fit with their own palate.
Sure. Have you ever used crisp lemony zip as an adjective?
Use it now. It's being added to my
I think
list
you
here.
have to be a master Cicerone to use that. Am I right, Nathan?
That's reserved for Saison only.
Oh, it is.
That's what I've been told.
And shandies. I mean, let's not. Let's not get too ahead of
ourselves. Well, when you
Or-
get to the master level, talk to Nicole Ernie about crisp lemony zip.
I will do that.
Maybe she'll license the term to you, and you can.
It's a trademark for her by now, I think.
In your next.
It's called John since make us certificates.
So
If
one idea.
If I roll into your place, and
Doc's on a mission, Nate. You gotta wait.
Sorry,
Pump your
but,
brakes, Nate.
You're a beer destination, and
Like Angela is?
Yeah, like personally
no,
or professionally?
it's
Gravity.
Shit.
Oh, that's the bar now.
Grand Rapids is a place where you take business people.
Okay.
And you're gonna take people. You're gonna roll into your place, and you're gonna say, and people that just don't know beer.
Right.
And I want to have a Cicerone. I'm going to roll in there. I'm going to call ahead and say, I hope you're there, because I gotta.
Yeah,
because
I gotta pull these people into beer.
Yeah.
And all 5 of these people are going, I don't like beer.
Right.
And I want.
So this is a statement.
Exactly. if I'm having a play, if I've got to rock these people world and have this thing where, I didn't.
Then you go to a place with a Cicerone.
Exactly. This is my place.
Drop them off at a wine bar and go out and party yourself.
The wine bar. Everybody's going to be snobby at a wine bar.
Yeah.
No, we're going to this beer place.
I love it.
64 taps. We got this girl that just knows everything. She knows you, and she will
recommend for you.
Exactly.
A wonderful observation. Nathan.
Well stated, too.
If I opened a bar with that same theme in this region, I know what would happen 6 or 9 months later. 32 out of those 64 taps would end up as IPA. So, so do you think that's a regional difference thing, or do you think that there's going to be a lot of gravity towards that direction as you guys continue? Or what are you going to do to fight that?
IPAs have been huge still in even the Midwest, especially Michigan. And I've actually fought against that because I have 2 DIPAs and I have 2 standard American-style IPAs. So some of the 44 mainstay styles, by the way, I've doubled up, such as an American-style IPA.
Sure, why
But I
not?
also have 2 Belgian IPAs. I have an English IPA, I have an English ESB, English Pale Ale. So they do have other hop options, but I'm not giving them exactly just like hot bomb of American style IPA. I'm showing them that you don't, okay, so maybe you like these IPAs, but let's try different versions and different styles of them. I'm forcing them to step outside of the box and try a wide range of styles rather than just being tuned into this particular style that they love so much. I'm very happy that people like that. They can find that almost anywhere.
JP's giving a standing ovation right now to Angela's
Is that
answer
something
on
you have
variety.
to fight the owners on, or are they supportive
They don't.
and we need to educate these people?
They know their wine pretty well, so that's also why they hired me to come on. I have a feeling that they don't know the distinct differences between them. Their high-selling beers are IPAs still, but at the same time, because I've been there showing them other options. The other thing, too, is that because of the way that the menu is structured, I chose this very specifically because I thought this was very important. The categorization when you're finding your beer is not based on beer style, and it's not based on brewery or region. It's all based on palate experience. So, for example, full-bodied with hop accent, full-bodied with malt accent, medium-bodied with hop accent, medium-bodied with malt accent, light-bodied, hop, malt accent, balanced malt and hops, tart and rustic, fruit and spice, herbal and vegetable, so things like that. So I'm trying to have people stop thinking about the brands and these styles and start thinking about their palate experience, because for the general public, they're going to see Weizenbach be like, what the fuck is that? I have no idea. Okay, I see lager. Okay, I understand that. I will get that now. So this way they can all be a part of the conversation, because us beer geeks, we can read those menus like anything,
But with 62 taps, you have room to do both. Like, you can do the Weizenbachs and teach people, but then you can also sort of placate you got to have some easy stuff up there too.
Certainly.
And you don't want to get too snobby. I do want to I'm glad that you mentioned at least that the IPAs are their best-selling beers, and it's something on this program. It's easy for me to jump on the JP bandwagon sometimes and go, yeah, F the IPAs or whatever. There's too many of them. But from a retail perspective, they sell.
I actually need to correct too. They're one of the better.
One of the best, exactly. Yeah, they're not all.
But they are not even in the top 5.
But you have to have them, and so to say like, oh, they're overdone, so we're just not going to do IPAs as a retail establishment would be a very difficult business decision to make. They sell very, very well.
Yeah, they're 40% of sales if you let them. So it seems to me you're restricting that by not having 40% of your taps being IPA.
Well, if you think about it, too, the Michigan is still brand new beer culture. So they're still learning.
Where you're at. Like here, that would not fly. I mean, even bars that say, well, we're not going to have all those IPAs end up having them because that's what sells.
People already have a preconceived notion here about what they're looking for, which is an IPA or a sour. It's a very, very different trend. I say we're about like 5 years behind.
Okay.
So for here, that's why I picked Grand Rapids, Michigan in particular, is because we have a very enthusiastic beer culture, but it gives someone like me the chance to be the catalyst for change. I'm there to help enact and help with beer education, beer quality. And so therefore, people don't come in with the expectation like, you're probably going to have 1 million IPAs on tap. No, because they're, again, giving them wide range because they're still learning.
Yeah.
They have no idea yet. And now I've had a lot of feedback of people saying, well, some people do want some more IPAs. I put them on the rotator list, and they still have those options. But most everyone there is looking for things under the clean and crisp category that I have, or the full-bodied or medium-bodied with malt accent. Is what I'm finding.
Well, I think what you're doing when you limit people's access to IPAs, to any particular style. You can take porters, for example, is you're limiting their future access to any beer. And I think what you're doing is you're also kind of confining craft beer to that one style. I think IPA kind of embodies craft beer in general. So when people go to a bar and they have 14 taps and 13 of them are IPAs, they think that's what a craft beer is. And then they go somewhere else that has a craft beer bar and they go and they go, oh, there's no IPAs. They don't know what they're doing.
So there's that aspect to it.
So to your point about the retail thing, you should have a couple to represent the style. And especially if you have a wide range of taps, then you should have a couple porters and a couple stouts and a couple this and that too, because you want to educate people. And I think in craft beer we want to educate as well as make some cash.
Right.
And so while you don't want to go on the extreme and limit everything and go, there's never going to be an IPA here like at JP's bar. It's never going to happen, whatever. You also don't want to go to the extreme and go, this is all it's going to be, because all I'm trying to do is make money out of it instead of educating people, educating their palates, because you not only help yourself survive, but you help the industry.
It's true. I guess my only point that it's not really a counterpoint, it's just maybe to elaborate it when you're looking at the numbers is... so we have 21 taps. If 4 of those were IPA, you wouldn't find 4 pale ales at any time on our place.
No, I don't think.
But
anywhere,
you might find 4 IPAs, and there's nothing wrong. There's good reason for that.
Sure,
that's because those 4 IPAs are going to move faster than any other beer on the list most of the time.
Sure,
and you have to sort of play with those numbers.
You do, but
so it will always be not always. As IPAs are popular, until they're not popular anymore, they're always going to be the most.
There are always going to be
more of them on the menu.
Of course, but
I have 3 other points as well. One of which is that, in all honesty, I'm a little bit selfish. When I was studying for the Certified Cicerone exam, I was doing blind flights constantly. Every day, at least maybe 3 blind flights. So I'd be going to bars that had a wide range of styles and ask the bartender. I wouldn't look at the menu at all. I'd ask them, can you please bring me 5 or 6 beers, not tell me what they are, and have them be great representations of specific of basic styles.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that if people are studying for the Cicerone exam or trying to get to that level, then they can come in and do the same thing. If you have all IPAs, that's not very helpful. The other thing, too, is that more than anything, I have more people saying, I don't like those hoppy beers. I don't like the bitter. I don't like it. Okay, well, that's fine. So that's why they think that they don't like craft beer. This is the problem, is that too many craft beer geeks are coming to non-beer drinkers saying, hey, so here's this great IPA. I love this. But they're not thinking about someone else's palate. It's not the same as theirs. And if you think about it, too, biologically speaking, bittering components were actually used as a signal to your brain saying that something was poisonous. So it makes sense that people are the soda pop community that we have in America, where everything has to be sweet. It makes sense that we don't want bitter immediately. I remember I didn't care for hops at first until I actually started tasting more and understanding what they were and how they were used in beer. So if you're going to be coaxing people into the beer world, don't scare them away with hops first, because honestly, it is a little intimidating.
You're right.
So I try and showcase that. The other point I want to make too is that we do still have plenty of IPAs. We have 2 double IPAs again at all times. We have 2 American style IPAs at all times. We have 2 American style pale ales at all times. We have 2 Belgian IPAs at all times, and we have 1 English style IPA at all times.
Wow.
And that's not even counting the IPAs that come in on the rotators. So we do have plenty of them, but we have 64 taps. We have that the ability to have the wide range and showcase many different styles.
One thing I like about how you broke up the menu is by body also. So you don't even break it up by color. Like, there's not a stouts and porters category. There's not a amber or red category. You have light, medium, and dark, or light, medium, and heavy body, and there's a range of pale, amber, dark beers, and so people just come in like, oh, I only like dark beer. It's like making them realize that a dry Irish stout is not going to have the same heft as a Russian Imperial stout.
Or they go like, oh, stouts. I don't like stouts.
Right, exactly.
But they might be looking in that category, and then they might find something they don't know that they like. Oh, I mean, a stout has this kind of. Oh, well, okay, maybe I might.
Right, exactly.
We'll see.
Breaking it up by body is very interesting to me, and I was kind of curious about how, if you've noticed that people are more receptive to that versus just color, I guess.
Yes, well, people say, I'd like a light beer, please. Light in color. Do you want a triple? Because that's very, very different from a German Pilsner. What do you actually like? What are you looking for? Light in body, light in color? So I break it down that way. When people say that, I turn it into a different question. So it's actually like I'm interviewing people all the time.
But it does work best if you're interviewing them. And to say somebody's looking at your menu, they may need to know what you mean by body, or they may need to know what you mean by malt forward versus hop forward.
Well, here's the thing is that that was the same argument that my leadership team had with me. It's like, well, you still need to explain things. In this case, I have to explain body, malt, and hops versus stout, porter, IPA, pale. Like, you have to explain a hell of a lot more if you're going through the other styles.
That's about how much time you have.
Exactly.
So why make it really complicated?
This way, it's easy. I can go, again, malt, hops, body.
And when you say you're talking about your servers, and that's what you can
again, giving them proper
adjectives. That's where the delivery is. You're not talking to every customer that comes in. You can't.
Right, yeah, but that way too, like that's why I had that longer educational portion with them at first, so that they can get started with adjectives, and they themselves constantly come up to me and say, oh man, I just went out to a restaurant last night, I paired these two items together. I go into beer and food pairings quite extensively as well in the lesson, and I tried this beer and this beer, I thought I didn't like it before, but now I do, and they're starting to get excited because they can actually interpret what's going on. They're not just there for another job just saying, okay, these are our stouts, we have this many, it becomes completely different because now it's personalized for
They're
every
engaged
person.
Then,
yeah.
We do brewery tours. We want to do more of them with our staff for the same reason. We want them to get engaged, and even if it's excited about one brand, it doesn't matter that they're excited then about that beer. And when we have it on tap, there's something to talk about. Like you have to see where it was made, and
we're actually going to be doing that in January. Where I'm bringing them to the Founders Brewing Company to do a tour.
Great brewery.
Yeah, actually, my fiance is going to be the one doing the tour too, which is kind of hilarious.
Oh, does he works there at
yeah,
Founders?
he does. Yeah, he's in the education department there.
You're gonna throw shit at him? Just like trying to throw him off his game. Peppering him with.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to make it easy for him. There's no way.
Open up a random valve on the tour.
Hey, what does this do?
Did anybody read about the New Zealand disgruntled brewer?
Disgruntled brewer?
It was in the news this morning. Just your valve comment. So basically, the brewery was purchased by new owners, and this 50-year-old head brewer didn't like the direction that the brewery was going, and I think he left the brewery. But he still had his keys, and he came in at one point in the night, basically, broke in with his key, and opened all the valves on all the tanks fermenting in various stages, and something like 50,000 liters. 12,000 liters of beer. Spilled out.
It's like a gallon.
And like in some places it was ankle deep, but worse, it spilled over into a neighboring museum.
Nice.
Come on,
causing something like $300,000 worth of damage.
Or like Frodo's cape is, and all the classic New Zealand treasures.
The biggest and smallest sheep that ever grew on the island.
Yeah, the sheepskin.
Oh yeah, Smaug
thing.
himself got wet. I think. Yeah, Smaug.
It was called Wanaka Beer Works, and they're saying 10,000 liters of beer, which is that a million gallons?
My article says 12,000, but whatever it is,
close enough.
Shitload of beer.
8,000 gallons.
Wanaka, naka, naka. That's basically the equivalent of dropping the mic and leaving.
Yeah.
He brought it into
now
the world.
He's now facing criminal charges.
Yeah,
he
sure
goes
is.
to.
I would bet.
I think he goes to arraignment on Friday or something. But I had never heard a story like that. I read it this morning. I meant to bring it up today, and as soon as Beardy said valves, I was like, oh yeah, that dude.
New Zealand folks, they are hardcore apparently.
Yeah.
Can we get his arrandment on the next show?
I'll find out what happened. He's literally facing obviously huge fines, but also jail time because it's
vandalism.
Because
right?
for one, it was they're calling it burglary for going in, even though he had a key because he was no longer an employee. Then there's the vandalism. Then there's the damage.
I could so see him going, F you.
Yeah.
F you.
50-year-old head brewer. He just got disgruntled with the way things were going. And
maybe, I'm sure he hadn't been drinking before he went in there.
Right.
That's maybe, a sober decision.
Once he gets sentenced, we'll have to talk to him from prison, with the success the Serial podcast is having.
Good idea.
We talk to people from prison. We're the #1 podcast for you can, shake a stick.
We could be his one phone call.
Our first jailbird brewer interview.
Oh, my God. And not even like rig it so a pump fails or something like that. No, I'm going to go down and do that.
These tanks will be empty.
We're not encouraging this shit.
I don't know what. All right. I don't know what's happening over there. Listen, before we go to a break, Angela, I got to talk about your age a little bit, and just let's have a little fun with this part of it. First of all, you know your shit. You're very well spoken. I'm really enjoying hearing about your beer program and how you set it up. I'm taking notes over here. I'm getting free info on how to run the hop.
That's why you brought me out. All right.
So I do. So I'm liking that. So you're very well spoken. So I'm not bringing up the age to. In fact, I hope that soon everybody stops talking about your age. You clearly know what you're doing. However, in the meantime, it's still fun to do.
Sure.
And I want to bring up a few...
Bring it on.
Now is not then.
Well, I thought it'd be fun because we're all of varying degrees of old in this room now.
Hey, I'm 14.
Finally, I'm not the youngest in the room.
So, Angela was born in... oh, boy.
Hey, I had no choice in the matter.
Angela was born in 1992.
Right.
All right.
Oh, that's
A
depressing.
little perspective. I graduated high school in 1995. Angela was 3.
Well, but no, 2. She was born in like late December '92, so for all
pretty much
intents,
93. Okay, so 93. Some things that were popular when Angela was born. Jurassic Park was in theaters, as was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah, she remembers.
Too soon.
And finally, Sleepless in Seattle, also a movie reference from when Angela was born. My all-time favorite. Am I right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Was Kurt Cobain still alive, or had he offed himself yet?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Is he 12 pounds lighter?
New musicians, new bands and musicians in 1993. Nirvana.
Big guy.
Fucking Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg when the
new?
woman was born.
Yes. Calvin Brocious, baby.
Radiohead and Rage Against the Machine, who is still very modern, I will add.
Very relevant.
They were ahead of their time. I bet you that Angela listens to them all the time.
And very rich now.
Yes.
Shut up, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Back in my day, I used to have to go to the warehouse and get cassette tapes.
JP, who was our president in 1993?
I don't know. I would like to say...
Are you JP?
Wow. I was going to say Clinton, actually.
I was 7.
Damn it, Beardy.
I was learning how to read, and I knew that.
He might be.
Yeah, Clinton's
That's
first
why
year
you
in
know
office.
who it was.
Yeah. And then finally, the Pentium processor was introduced. To the,
great!
Which affects you greatly. I mean, WAD would not exist without the Pentium processor.
WAD would have crashed that first Pentium processor.
Yeah,
WAD would have blown. That's for sure.
So a lot of things have happened since then.
What about breweries? What new breweries were just opening then?
That I don't have in my pop culture notes, but
there were none. 1993 was a wasteland.
No, that's not true.
That's
it
not
actually
true.
craft breweries would have been on the rise. However, it would have been just before the first crash of craft
The
breweries.
most significant thing was Doc moved to the Northern California Bay Area.
Is that right?
Yes.
In 1993.
Yes.
I'm happy to know that now.
Very significant. Put
Yes.
that in your notes, Angela.
I think Jason was trying to get out of PE in middle school in 1993.
You were in middle school?
I don't know.
I thought you were my age.
I graduated in 96.
So you were like a freshman or a sophomore.
I was like a sophomore.
Math is really hard, I know.
Yeah, Jason was trying to get noticed in 1993. Trying to get out of detention.
I was running on the trackpad on the regular NES, playing track and field.
Well, because you were poor doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else.
that
Right?
year.
You graduated in 93?
Sega Genesis.
I thought you were older than that, Nathan.
No, that's the year.
Nate's older.
Tasty,
I forget.
Tasty, what were you doing in 93?
He was probably already homebrewing.
I just started homebrewing.
In California or Missouri? In California.
He broke his hip for the first time.
It's his first. What year did you move to California? I was
88.
80. Okay, so you had been here for a little while.
Oh.
And you had just started homebrewing.
Yeah.
Doc, were you homebrewing in 93?
Yes.
Yeah, you were.
That was my first year, too.
Okay.
Twinsies.
Yay! Hey.
All right, well, I just wanted to get a little perspective. And
Yeah, she's fucking young.
Yeah.
I get that.
And Angela is of the generation that we've always talked about, like even when we started the show, is that there will be a generation who didn't know a time without craft beer.
The millennials.
That there was a time when there was not craft beer. And Angela doesn't know even a time when you couldn't get craft beer at the grocery store, right? Like you've always seen craft beer at the grocery store.
I never had a phase of no craft beer.
Of
That
no
was
craft
like
beer.
A,
So basically,
or internet.
God bless
she's
you.
standing on the shoulders of giants. Of us.
Is that a rare barrel?
Rare barrel.
No, it's us.
Oh, it's us.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, I like it then.
Are you saying that you've never been to a bad keg party?
Wow, no, I haven't. Should we get that out of the way?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Well, you know, how did you get into beer? I mean, you said you started studying when you were 19. Did you have fake ID? Did you go into craft beer bars? Or did you have friends or family that were drinking these beers that would share them with you?
I never had a fake ID. What I will say, I guess in the most diplomatic way possible, the culture of New York City is one wherein there's a lot of public transportation. So when someone like me potentially enters a venue asking very, very specific questions about beer, they tend to not question, like, oh, yes, absolutely. Have you tried this one? You know,
So you didn't really get carded.
They skipped the other part.
like at the,
So
like
you
at the
moved-
Ginger Man.
You're from Grand Rapids, but you moved to New York City, what, at 19?
I was 18. It was 3
18.
weeks after I graduated from high school.
You were a
Immediately.
model.
Yeah,
Do I have that right?
I was modeling at that time. Yeah.
Why did you leave modeling? That seems
Because I
like
want
you
to
could
get
have
paid
made
to
a.
eat and drink instead of paid to not eat and drink.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You could eat and drink. You just have to throw it all up again.
Yeah. Well, so honestly, though, like I was on a raw food diet and working out 6 days a week, doing whatever I could to lose the weight. I was much smaller than even I am now, and I was supposed to have an agency there. And the first week I went to the agency, it was supposed to be BMG New York, and they told me you must lose 3 more inches off your hips and 3 more inches off your waist for you to even compete with the girls at this agency.
When you
even
say
starting.
lose the weight, I'm looking for the weight right now.
I would have, basically, it's like, do you want me to shave my hip?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were like, well, are you willing to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Did they give you a plane?
We could schedule your surgery.
Yeah.
So the agencies were telling you to do this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, constantly. I found one agency, Boston, New York, after that, who were like, nope, your size is fine. I think they were trying to be very innovative. But no matter what casting call I went to, get something up to like my thigh and be like, oh, there's no way.
Wow.
You were modeling for like plus sizes.
They were like, wow.
Basically, I'd be more plus size.
Put her in the Lane Bryant magazine.
Yes.
But you're not a plus size
That's
at
the
all.
most depressing thing I've ever heard.
It was infuriating because
Okay.
I was in modeling for the right reasons, as I always put it, because I absolutely love fashion. I love embodying something else that goes beyond just like looking pretty in an outfit.
Okay.
Because I could do grungy, I could do not exactly pretty, but again, almost acting and creating a different persona with the clothing.
Sure.
But in the modeling world, that's not the case. It's purely about it's about money and trying to look a very particular way. So if
Like
you
a
think about it
dude.
as well, the fabric is very, very expensive that designers use.
Mhm.
Less fabric, less money, smaller models, less fabric.
Wow,
less money.
really? That's
Yeah.
part of the equation.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
So
interesting.
You're basically the IPA of New York.
No, she's the porter of New York.
Right, yeah.
Clearly, she's
Trying
the
to
porter.
get on tap at an IPA bar.
The session beer of New
What
York.
they wanted was the American Light Lager. But Angela showed up as the porter.
Oh, man. Oh,
Now,
that's the
how
best
long
thing
did
I've
you
ever
do it for?
heard. I was involved since I was 16.
Okay. Was the money good? No, not even good.
Occasionally, if you did like commercial gigs, absolutely, it'd be like
Not when you
$600 for the day or something, or
Not when you're first
$800.
starting, right?
Oh, that's
you have
pretty
to work
good.
up to that, right?
No, not
Oh, really?
necessarily. There's some girls who start off and just immediately get booked for those big gigs because they're proper size.
Okay.
Right. Well. Most of the time, though, when I did book gigs in New York, I was either paid in clothing, which, that doesn't pay my rent now, does it?
Yeah.
Or you're paid $50 for the entire day, and then there's still taxes taken out of that. It's
Okay.
absolutely absurd. So it was a year into my time there, I was still trying it, and I'm like, God, this is stupid. But it was 19, started asking more questions about beer. I'm like, oh, this is much, much better.
By the way, the beer probably wasn't helping with the plus size that you had there.
Yeah.
You're like, they're telling you to eat vegetables, and you're probably eating vegetables and then drinking
As hops.
pale ales and IPAs.
Yeah, I ditched out on that immediately. Like, it's just not a good quality of life. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
That's no way to live. That's not
Yeah.
something sustainable. You're ruining your body for some stupid ideal version of thinking that beauty and youth are somehow sustainable, which they're not. I'd much rather be breaking bread and having good drinks with good friends and having
Sure.
a good time that way. It just makes much more sense.
Tell that to Kim Kardashian.
So when you left it to pursue the beer,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you really think then, I could make a living in the beer world? And I ask that because it's still a tricky thing. Yes, beer's come a long
Do you
way,
still think
but
that?
if you're not a brewer or you're not going to
Sure.
open the brewery, you wanted to come in from the Cicerone side, like the knowledgeable contractor side, right?
Certainly. Well, to start off, I opted out of the college route entirely because, especially as us millennials too, I don't feel that the college route works in any way, shape, or form anymore.
Yeah, look at us.
You're basically
So right.
you're being shuffled through. Thank you. You're being shuffled through the system
Beardy's
that's
a
telling you
janitor,
to
by the
quickly.
way.
I'm sorry.
Beardy's a janitor, by the way, the one clapping. He's a janitor at a brewery.
I'm echoing that.
Right.
So
He couldn't even get hired as a janitor at a college.
sorry, go
No,
on.
that's
You
just
need a
fine.
degree.
Because you're being shuffled through the system, saying everyone telling you must do it right after high school, and you're being shuffled through saying memorize all this information, regurgitate it very quickly, and then forget it, and then give us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, be in debt until you're 60, and
Yeah.
work at a job that doesn't even have anything to do with your industry. So,
Yeah.
my dad always
You sound
told
like
me
a dropout.
Yeah. My dad always told me growing up, make sure you find something you're passionate about and find a way to get paid doing it.
Okay.
And sure enough, here I am, no debt, doing exactly what I set out to do and getting paid doing it.
Good for you.
Yeah, you have to find your way through the side door or the back door. You just got to get creative.
Yeah.
There's so many other options, so many other ways to create the job. Find a way to have someone pay you to do it, or start your own venue. It's just there's so many different ways to do that, and I have many options. Have had many options since, especially passing the Cicerone exam.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You hear that, JP?
I do.
There's still time.
Dreams can come true.
America dream.
Yeah.
There's still time for America.
When do I get to know what I want to do?
I don't know.
How does that happen?
I think you have to stop playing WAD.
Can you come to my house and have a speak?
Or if maybe that's what you want to do. You just haven't figured out how to get paid to play WAD.
Actually, there's
actually people who can get paid.
Yeah, there's more and more universities actually that are offering quote unquote esports scholarships.
Esports.
Suck that.
That's
it's called
amazing.
That's cute.
If somebody ever tells me about their child or whatever and says my child just got a scholarship for esports, I will tell them that their child is a douchebag to their face.
All expenses paid.
Some cat just became the Hearthstone world champion, won $100,000 playing a fucking computer game.
He's a Division I receiver.
In computer
on Madden
sports.
25.
Yeah. No, on Cyberball. He's just old school.
Wow.
Did you catch what Angela said about the public transportation factoring into why New York? I found this fascinating when we were talking about it last night, that in New York, you're less likely to be carded, essentially, because they don't worry about it as much because you're going to be taking public transit home.
Oh, so that when you get pulled over, you're saying, or get in an accident, the bar's not liable.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't catch
I never
the
had
reference.
thought about that before.
Yeah.
Well, that's at least my theory, because when I was in Los Angeles, several months while I was there. By the way, I was in New York City for 2 years, then Los Angeles for 8 months until I moved to Grand Rapids 9 months ago. But in LA, I mean, no, it's absolutely impossible. It's not drinking culture there. It's another reason why I left is because there's constantly DUI checkpoints. Everything's so spread out so far away. You can't establish a drinking culture there, despite the fact that incredible beer is happening there and there is a beer scene. But it's not sustainable because you have to be in one particular area. You can't drink and then go off somewhere. I had several friends who had a DUI for being 0.02 over the limit.
Wow.
I'm not condoning drinking and driving, but you can't maneuver. It's almost impossible.
Did my staff card you here?
Oh, well, they knew that I was on the show. So
I don't give a shit. I'm going to go out there and bust some ass right now.
If you look over 40, you're supposed to card.
Heads are going to roll tonight.
Let's go to break.
Sorry, guys.
Bevo should always be carded.
I got some work to do right now.
Oh, that was really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome, Beverly.
By the way, that's the first nice thing we've said to Bevo in like 6 months.
In a really long time.
I'm sorry.
What have you done?
All right, I do need to get us to a break, though. We're going to do that. 888-401-BEER. If you want to ask questions yourself, hit the chat button on the homepage. You can do it that way. Here's what we're going to do. When we come back, we're going to play a game. It's called the Compliment Sandwich, and it's a beer tasting game. And I'm excited to have Nate do it, too, because he's the nicest person on the earth. So
it's true.
Find out all about it when we come back. It's the session. Yeah. Compliment Sandwich coming up.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Have you ever dreamed of attending the World Brewing Academy? This year, thanks to Lallemand and Danstar, one lucky brewer will make that dream a reality for free. Lallemand and Danstar invite you to enter the Beer School 2015 contest. One lucky grand prize winner will receive fully paid tuition to the 2015 World Brewing Academy web-based concise course in brewing technology worth almost $4,000. From now until December 13th, 2014, every Danstar yeast packet you use is your ticket to enter. Visit danstaryeast.com for the details and to print your official entry form. There's no limit on the number of times you can enter, so get brewing with Danstar and get your entries in to the Danstar 2015 Beer School Contest. Whether you want to build your home brewing skills or build a career as a professional brewer, this course will change the way you think of beer and brewing. Enter at danstaryeast.com and get the dry yeast advantage with Danstar and Lallemand Premium Brewing Yeast and enter to win.
BN Army, I'm here to talk seriously for a second. You all are partially responsible for something explosive, and it's time you answer for it.
Moonlight Meadery is exploding.
Yeah, exploding across the country. Wait, they just landed in Australia with insane quality meads.
With nearly 70 different varieties of mead on the market, Moonlight Meadery has blown up the mead category and completely reinvented it.
Seriously?
What?
Seriously.
What?
You're paying money for that watered-down mead when you could have a Moonlight mead?
Moonlight meads explode with quality and flavor.
They're a party in a bottle. Did someone say party?
If you want mead and want the best, you want meads from Moonlight Meadery and will accept nothing less.
And now get 15% off by going to moonlightmeadery.com/BNArmy and use coupon code BNArmy at checkout.
Hey, sign me up for that party.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping.
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com. From the stovetop to a camp burner to some kind of brew stand, most homebrewers follow some version of this progression. With each move, a homebrewer will often have to change a lot, if not all, of their equipment. Until now, Blickman Engineering brings you the top-tier brewing stand, the only brewing stand that grows with you. For example, buy a top-tier floor-standing burner now, and it'll bolt right to your top-tier brewing stand when you're ready for all-grain brewing. The top-tier brewing stand is perfect for 5-gallon to 20-gallon batch sizes. Its modular design is adjustable and accommodates everything from small footprint coolers up to 30-gallon pots. How does the top-tier brewing stand do it? At its core is a strong, heat-treated, and anodized aluminum main post. On all 4 sides are built-in T-slots for the adjustable heavy-gauge stainless steel shelves and beefy burner tiers. The tiers accommodate any manufacturer's pots or coolers up to 21 inches in diameter. Best of all, not only does the top-tier brewing stand grow with your skills and equipment, but it easily knocks down for long-term storage or transport, too. The top-tier brewing stand from Blickman Engineering. Learn more at blickmanengineering.com and to find a local Blickman retailer. And start brewing from the top tier.
888-401-BEER.
It's time to talk beer and chew bubble gum.
And we're all out of gum.
The Session.
Yes, we're still hanging out with Angela Steil. I'm still convinced that was only your modeling name and that you're actually Angela Steil.
I did get some shit for that sometimes.
They're like, really?
Yeah.
Angela Steil?
Yeah.
Angela Horbowitz. Angela Horbowitz. But it's Style.
Style works good for the beer world, too. It's
That's
so
true.
versatile.
Yeah.
Style your brews.
That's why I think it's a lie.
Yeah.
So Angela's with us tonight. She is the world's youngest Cicerone and also a very qualified young lady in the world of beer.
Aww.
So we're learning about beer with her tonight.
And she talks good.
She does talk good. Yeah, I feel like
talks good.
There's bad talk and there's good talk, and she talked good.
There's a lot of the thinks are all good.
Some of the thinks are good.
Yeah.
Her
Thinks
things
talks.
come out good.
Yeah.
All right, if you want to talk good and thinks good as well and open a brewery, don't forget about the Brewers Association's Guide to Starting Your Own Brewery. It'll help you plan and open a thriving, quality-oriented brewery. And it's written by industry veteran Dick Cantwell of Elysian Brewing Company. And Dick's a good good guy, and he really knows what he's talking about. Elysian is a great example of craft beer in America. He covers ingredients, financing, business plans, quality assurance, distribution, wastewater, sustainability practice, you name it, everything you need to know for prospective brew pub and packaging brewery owners alike. Angela, you're going to own a brew pub or something one day. I have to believe that.
Yeah, definitely. I do not wish to own a brewery.
Not the brewery side, just the retail side.
If you want to lose money quick. Certainly a bar, though. Several.
Okay.
I have several planned.
I look forward to attending those.
Me too.
Well, Cantwell walks the reader through planning and execution required to turn craft brewing dreams into a reality. The comprehensive guide delivers essential industry knowledge to aspiring brewers to chart their own course. So go check it out. It's available through the Brewers Publications and the Brewers Association. You can also find it on Amazon. It's the Brewers Association's guide to starting your own brewery, and it's really the one to have if you're going to do it. Don't fuck around with this stuff.
Yeah, it's too dangerous.
Just go right to the source.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. All right, so we came up with a game for Angela, and Angela, we came up with this game basically because misery loves company, and we thought, we have to sit in here week after week and try people's beer. Misery loves company.
Yeah, you can get on Adam and Eve.
I think it's Misty loves company.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's true. He's right, and I own it.
CUMP
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Right,
I
but
think
not 7.
You're going to lose a leg on this.
Oh yeah, no, it jumped the shark at about 7.
Yeah, that was fucking terrible.
Angela's parents just turned the show off.
Did the shark get any?
Yes. So that's why I jumped the shark. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's what happens. We get a lot of great beer sent to us, and we do a lot of interviews with great breweries as well. However, from time to time, we have to taste beer, that's less than stellar. And we don't really like to bash beer here on the show because a lot of times there are cases where it's not the brewery's fault. We've gotten beer that sat on the shelf or this or that. So we end up trying to pick the good things out about a beer and talk about those instead. And we certainly will talk about flaws. And I don't mean to say that we lie about beer either, because we won't do that. We will just occasionally skip over the bad parts if necessary. I think our listeners have become adept in figuring out what beers we truly love and which ones we have to be a little careful about. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we do a bit of a compliment sandwich. So we thought, what better person than a very qualified cicerone to sit and taste less than good beer with us.
That's never happened before.
Yet figure out how to say good things about it.
Nay, mediocre.
Yes. Because I think a lot of times as a cicerone, it's your job to weed out the bad beer, and you don't have to worry about saying good things. But in our job, occasionally we have to say a nice thing or two. So a compliment sandwich, if you don't know, goes like this. And this is why I want Nathan to do it, too, because the compliment sandwich basically are two compliments sandwiching a negative comment.
So Justin...
And Nathan doesn't know how to make negative comments.
Justin, do an example like you're talking to me about something I fucked up here at the Grenade.
Got it. Okay. Like a real thing? Or do you want me to make it up?
Make it up.
That might take longer.
Let's pretend it's made up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So... Moscow's in charge of the artwork, here at the Hop Grenade.
You have artwork here?
And,
it's one of his skills. You got to find a job for him.
So, Moscow, I feel like your artwork is very original and unique, and really complements the theme here at the Hop Grenade. Sometimes it's a little sexist because all of the hops that you paint are women dancing on poles.
There's the middle.
But since it's so many men come in here to drink craft beer, like most of our audience likes that anyway, so it's probably appropriate, the genre of art that you've chosen.
Yeah, you've painted a clear picture of what a compliment sandwich is.
That's a compliment sandwich.
There we go. Okay.
So you do have to put the negative comment in the middle, and because you're not talking directly to the person, the negative comment in the middle can be as negative as you want it to be. And actually, I want to use that portion of the compliment sandwich to learn something about tasting and off flavors and things like that. So if you find what we've done is we've got 4 beers for you, and the first one's in front of you now. And I want you to taste them and do the compliment sandwich. But when we get to the meat, the middle part, the negative, let's learn something about what the off flavor is, too, if there is such an off flavor.
Let's learn something, won't we?
Now, what we did was
As we go.
The other name that was floating around from this was like, what's in JP and Moscow's fridge? Because what we did was take like beers that had been sitting in their fridge for I don't even know how many years.
And by in fridge, we mean on fridge and around fridge. But that's neither here nor there.
However,
right by that compressor at 100 degrees for many years, right?
Yeah. If it should happen that there are no negative comments to make about the beer, that's okay, too. You don't have to make it up.
Okay.
We feel that there's going to be plenty of negative comments. It's going to be harder for you to find the positive comments. So that is the game Compliment Sandwich with Angela Steil and Nathan Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's play Compliment Sandwich!
I thought this was called Homebrewer Hands You a Beer Sandwich.
Also called the National Homebrewers Conference.
I was just about to say.
Every night at NHC.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and taste beer number 1, Angela and Nathan, and then we'll have you guys do your compliment sandwich. Now, the rest of us have the beer in front of us, too.
Oh, man.
I'm just not going to make everybody go around and do a compliment sandwich.
Someone handed me moldy soy sauce instead.
I think it was out of your refrigerator.
So the first beer, just so our listeners know, is like a 1995. Angela was 3. 2, actually. She was basically 2.
Were you tasting by then?
At 1995.
Doc, she brewed this particularly.
What did this taste like fresh?
Angela's a real prodigy. She actually, this is a Sammy Claus Brown, and she actually flew to Belgium. And,
Right.
I'm sure she
actually,
had
no,
a
this
hand
one's
in
German or
this.
something. It's
I think
Swiss.
it was originally pale.
Swiss. All right, so this is a Doppelbock, I think, something like that, a loosely interpreted Doppelbock. Angela, you've tasted it now. Why don't you go ahead and give us the compliment sandwich?
Get big fig notes in the nose, which I'm actually a big fan whenever you're getting some bigger, bolder beers like this. However,
Here's the
it
middle.
doesn't. Cardboard in the finish doesn't necessarily complement those fig notes. I don't usually like to have cardboard with my fig.
What causes that cardboard flavor?
Transunital / oxidation / this beer is very old. It was not properly stored.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your
But-
other piece of bread?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, there's 2 pieces of bread in this sandwich. This is not an open-faced roast beef sandwich, Angela.
You gotta taste this thing.
I must say it smells a lot hotter than it actually tastes. Like in the nose, it's like
good.
Like it's like whoo, alcohol. This is gonna be trippy. But actually, when you're drinking, it's really not too bad.
Yeah.
I've had much worse.
It's not too bad. That's a good not bread.
I feel like that was a wheat bread compliment sandwich.
Right.
Like it's sort of
That's
good
like
for
a
you,
Melba
but it's
toast,
not
yeah.
great. Like
Yeah.
you'd rather sourdough every time.
Well, for a
Okay.
style like this, it makes sense that it would be hot, and it genuinely though in the finish is not not too hot. It makes sense for the style.
Okay. Nathan Smith, your compliment sandwich, sir.
Well, thank you for the beer there. It's got a nice big malty character, almost like a, really, really caramelly caramel. But it's, not as fresh as it could be. It's a little maple syrupy like you'd put it on pancakes or have it with breakfast.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then the other side of sandwich? Oh, was that to put it on breakfast?
Supposed to be complimentary.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is as negative as I've ever heard Nathan be. That's all he can do.
I'd put it on my pancakes, I guess. I mean, everyone who knows me knows I don't even eat pancakes. So
I would eat pancakes for this beer.
Yeah, but I would do it.
All those empty carbs, I would do it for this beer.
Yeah.
And then you distract them and pour it in a plant or something.
There's not enough dump buckets at any of those like homebrewer conferences.
No,
or
never.
anything. It's infuriating. Actually, it's like,
Actually,
no, you're going to drink that.
When we were talking about the conference in Oakland and I was on that committee, that was one of the things
Yeah.
I was trying to fight for, and they kept shooting me down.
It's silly, and too,
Yeah.
if you're too inebriated, if you're done, like there's no place to dump it. If you dump it in the grass, it gets soggy, and it looks bad if you're just trying to dump it behind a plant or something.
Like when I was dumping beer on the carpet in here earlier, Moscow was pissed because then he had to help me clean it up. Yeah.
Hang on, what's Nate's compliment?
He did it. That he would put it on pancakes.
I give you a pairing.
On breakfast.
I give you a pairing idea that's supposed to make you proud of.
I'm trying to pass it.
I see.
He's so good at it,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
don't
even
need to
notice.
Of the drivel you just served me, I gave you a pairing idea because you have to think of something
I like
to do
that.
with this terrible beer.
I must say though, like when it comes to constructive criticism, I actually find that to be a really, really positive thing. People just need to learn how to give proper constructive criticism and take proper constructive criticism. What I like to do when I was doing a lot of my beer writing is that I would always point out the problem, and then not just point out the problem, but give a solution or a potential reason why there was a problem. Because if you're doing that, then you're actually helping someone. You're not tearing them down. You're trying to help them improve.
Sure.
So I think that if you are going to give any sort of constructive criticism, make sure you have something to back it up with, too.
So we always, I shouldn't say we. I always ask when people give me a beer at the homebrew conferences and things like that, hey, I want you to try this beer. I always ask, would you, before I taste it, do you want me to be honest with you, or do you want me to
blow you
to hold back? Yeah, basically.
Yeah. What do you want?
Because I do think it's important. I want to know that they can handle the constructive criticism.
They can't handle the truth.
Oftentimes, even folks who say, yes, I want you to be honest,
they can't handle the truth.
You should still give them the sandwich.
Actually, the worst ones aren't the ones that can't handle the truth, like that get butthurt about it. That doesn't bother me. It's the ones that then just argue with me about it and go, no, it's it's perfect. It's exactly what I went for.
This is exactly why I told you to make up something about the grenade instead of right.
And I'm like, and I always go, listen, okay, you obviously know what you're doing. So I don't know why you asked me, but
you brew what you like, and that's great.
And I always just go, it's a great beer. It's great. Yeah. And I walk away, it's a wonderful beer. That's enough.
Oh.
All right, Angela has tried the second beer now. Can you dump this one and give me a taste of that too, please, Moscow? Now, this one is quite an old Saison. And
warm story.
The brewery who gave us this Saison admitted that it was on display above their bar for about a year. Is that how long, Moscow? About a year.
That's 8 months.
So they were out of the Saison, and we still wanted a bottle. So they're like, well, our last bottle is this one that's been sitting warm above the bar on display for a year. So it's not likely to show up very well, but you're welcome to it if you want it. And we took it. And that's the beer that's in your glass now. So,
what was that phrase Nicole used about the lemon?
Oh,
crisp
lemony zip. But you cannot use that yet.
No.
You are not a master.
You're not a master.
All right. Wow, I was trying to represent you there,
She'll
Nicole.
take royalties.
Yeah. If you got a $5 to give to Nate, you can use it.
It's her birthday tomorrow, so you can use it, but you have to buy her a gift from the bottle selection or something.
Chris Lemony Zip TM.
Yeah.
All right, so
start with a compliment.
All right. Let's see.
Boy, that nose does have a little crisp lemony zip, doesn't it?
Yes, okay. I'll just go with
as said
lemon
by...
zest. How about that? Lemon zest.
In the nose.
Okay.
A nice lemon zest, right?
Yeah, decent lemon zest in the nose.
Okay.
I actually, I know that this beer has been sitting around for a while, but my immediate reaction, I still would want to look into it more, but a little bit acetaldehyde. So a little bit like a vegetal fresh cut pumpkin. Just a little bit. I could be totally wrong, but that was my initial reaction.
I think vegetal's pretty.
That's what you
accurate.
smell. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
The last point too, and I'm actually pretty surprised about this. I get even light cinnamon in the nose,
which is nice.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
Yeah.
Cinnamon, lemon. Yeah,
Angela's goddamn good at these compliment sandwiches, man. We're not this good at it, JP. We've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah, well, we don't really like the things that we talk about. So. Yeah, and we do it to people, and that's worse. Like Schumann. We did it as Schumann for like 4 hours.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Nate, what do you think about this one?
Well, it's got this really interesting herbal quality to the nose. It's like, cinnamon or spice, like Angela was saying. But
good bread.
You get into the flavor, and it's, a little bit like... that patchouli oil from a Dirty Hippie kind of quality.
It does have a little Dirty Hippie.
Yeah, it's like hanging out at the Woodstock, as if Woodstock was still happening since 1969. The beer tastes about that fresh.
Yeah, Angela remembers.
But
my kids have crayon drawings of you as that.
Wow, that's creepy.
And then
the other piece of bread.
It really finishes off with this a great wetness factor.
This beer is wet.
It's 100% wetness factor.
Well done, Nathan.
You
well
really
done.
cannot be mean. This is amazing.
The wetness factor is just incredible. I don't know how you captured that
off the charts
in the bottle. I think that sitting above the bar, as long as it did, it really helped build that wetness factor. So I thank you for that.
I think you're right. All right, let's do the third beer now as well. Let's keep these moving so that we can get through all of our compliment sandwiches. Our two contestants today are doing fantastic. The runner-up today will win a new car.
Hey, check under your seat.
That's right. We're giving away JP's Acura tonight.
Whoa!
it's new to them.
Yeah, it's new to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about the holes in the seat.
Well, look, it's paid off.
It's paid off. That's true.
You know, it's new to you.
Oh, wait. I've made it taste 3 bad beers and I have not
You've only had
talked
2.
about them.
No, because only these 2 are due. Would you like to comment on the bad flavors as well?
No, I'm done now.
Okay,
And
great.
he's only had 2 of the beers. You've only done 2.
They're really bad.
Yeah. They are bad. That was the point of the game. They came from the back of Moscow and JP's fridge. So now this is one of JP's. What is this beer? That you said that there were some
entirely sure.
There were some random Belgian beers that you've had sitting around for a while.
Yes, but I don't know which one this is.
Moscow, what beer do you have there?
This is...
Please wash that out.
Kerstmuske Christmas Nightcap.
Crystal Knock.
It
I
has
think is what it is.
a price tag on it, $3.99, and it's a big bottle.
Yeah.
Now, just to note, for all the breweries, if we've mentioned your name, that we take full responsibility for the poor condition of these beers. We're admitting that the game was defined around beers that we have mistreated. And so we're just talking about the off flavors that happens to a mistreated beer. So don't think that any of these breweries... don't put out stellar beers.
That's right.
We've just mistreated them for several years before serving them to our friends.
Scott, would you mind
Maybe
grabbing that?
we've like held them too long.
Yeah.
Or let them
I'll
get
tell you
too
the story
hot
about this
or
beer.
whatever.
I store all my beer over the heater, like the
radiator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of cold this time of year. You don't want them to get cold.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't want them to freeze over.
Yeast are alive. You got to treat them as such.
Yeah.
Make sure they're warm.
Do you know how long you've had this particular beer, JP?
Oh, yeah. About 5 years.
Yeah, 5 fucking years.
And I bought it sitting in a cart at Bevmo for $3.99, like a discount cart.
So it had been sitting there for 5 years before
Probably.
that.
Yeah. Marked
So
down
this beer
from
is
$7.99.
At 10 years old. This beer is older than Angela.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
This is what most things are, it seems.
That's right. The whole
This
world.
is not the compliment sandwich. This is the Goo Goo Gaga sandwich.
Yeah. Could you just baby talk your way through this one, please, Angela?
This one is it tickled nose.
I snotty nose on this one.
Scratchy throat.
Cane.
Oh, poo poo.
Hurdy.
Hurdy poop.
Hurdy poo poo.
Trust me, I know 17-year-olds that would say, I could say, oh, it's alcohol, just drink it. And they're going to...
What the fuck did you just say? I could
That
tell
was Doc's compliment sandwich. A 17-year-old would drink it.
No,
What he said was,
No, they wouldn't.
What he said was, I could tell a 17-year-old to drink it.
Oh, no.
And you
What
know
is he, Bill Cosby now?
Bill Cosby.
I could tell her it's good, and he would say,
I could tell her it's good.
no.
All right, Angela. Please begin your compliment sandwich of Flinchen Franklin. I forget what it's called. Yeah.
Barina.
I get tart cherry in the nose.
That's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's supposed to be there.
I'm guessing it probably isn't.
Okay, yeah.
Does the bottle... Oh, never mind.
Do you know what would cause like a tart cherry nose if they hadn't actually put cherries in it? Is there some... I don't mean to put you on the spot. I was just curious about this stuff. If there's some chemical component that resembles that smell?
Ooh, actually, I actually do not know.
Okay,
Yeah,
because there's like a green apple chemical component, right?
But I don't interpret it that as
Yeah.
ever being like green apple is very different from tart cherry.
Yeah,
I get like cough syrup medicinal cherry sometimes
Yeah,
because they're doing like artificial.
Like a stone fruit.
Okay.
You're going to get cherries or like hard fruits.
I go straight for cherries on that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
so that's your nice one.
Yeah.
The middle, neg.
I'm getting some soy sauce. I am getting a little soy sauce in here, so perhaps yeast autolysis. Is that
one of the things that'll cause
am I
some?
going
Nathan,
right direction here?
is
Help me
soy
with that
sauce
here.
some yeast autolysis? Will that
usually deterioration due to yeast present?
Yeah, okay.
That's
all
the
right.
main cause of that soy sauce
Oxidation,
flavor.
I believe, is a function of that too.
Okay. Yeah, I get the soy sauce. It's like soy sauce on top of cherries.
Yeah, so
Right.
It is
Yeah.
those
Asian cherry.
oxidation, yes,
Yeah.
but it can also be from yeast autolysis. Is that correct?
Yeah, or that can also be present as like a meaty type quality, but
Yeah,
usually
right,
not
that
when
umami
it's.
kinda.
That's usually when it's a little younger. I think when it deteriorates and ages longer, you'll get more of what
Gotcha.
we're getting here.
Okay.
The soy sauce thing.
And the other piece of bread? It gets hard when they're like this one.
Verbal bread is hard.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny. I do want to go straight to even bready, like that like Pepperidge Farms like cinnamon raisin bread.
Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah.
Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, actually. That's a nice compliment.
This is not. It's not a bad flavor. It's kind of like we're drinking port wine. Something aged.
Yeah.
Something good.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I have to say,
And
like,
so
even-
it's not like I can't drink this.
Okay.
This is.
It's not like you're 17.
No.
And some old creepy doctor's forcing it down your throat.
You open this is not like you open a bottle and oh my
We
god,
push the
that's
cork in
horrible.
first.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. You open the bottle horrible. I can't serve that to my friends.
Yeah, this one's a little better.
This is
Or my little brother.
It's an age thing.
I think it's a
And-
bit too thin still. I
Yeah.
don't mind the soy sauce factor, though. I do like the umami.
Yeah.
But that soy sauce along with tart cherry is not exactly unpleasant, but it's quite obviously aged. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we should pre-taste all the beers we have to taste on the show.
Yeah.
And the ones that we know we have to do a compliment sandwich for, we book Angela to get on the phone. We send her the beer to do the tasting portion of the program. Of course, our listeners will come to know that means the beer wasn't very good, but you're fantastic at the compliment sandwich.
Oh, thank you.
I think what we should do is we should get her on the phone and then describe what we're tasting to her because, let's face it, shipping beer is expensive.
Right.
And then we'll go like, it's like bubble gum and like when you bite your own toenails and the feet smell, like it's like that. And then she'll go,
Can you put that in good
I'll
sauce?
call bullshit every time then.
Yeah.
I don't believe you at all.
but
This is not real.
Shipping Angela is much more expensive.
Yeah.
Give me new things for this.
Nate, did we do your compliment sandwich on this one yet? No, we did not. Go ahead, please.
No. Well, it's like a wonderful Christmas cake given to you by your 80-year-old neighbor who wants to give you this really nice thing for Christmas that you didn't really want.
Yeah.
And then it's got,
is that an insult?
It's got this stale soy sauce thing going on in the middle, which ain't so good. But it's got this, it's got that imported taste. You can just tell.
That European malt character.
It's got that imported flavor.
Taste
right?
the flavor.
Oh, it's so imported.
Yeah.
It has
I can't
all
wait
the
to say that
flavors
to our
that
next
you want.
foreign brewery guest.
Yeah.
This beer is so
really skunked.
imported.
That really skunk taste on that was supposed to be awesome and really good, and the bottle's really expensive. You can say, well, it's got that imported flavor. And that's what they remember.
Nate, you're
Isn't
pretty
it-
goddamn good at this too.
Isn't it true, too, that Heineken actually tried to change their bottles over from green to brown, but the Americans started to protest, like, this isn't the same thing.
It's not the
because
same.
they were used to them being skunked.
I prefer the skunk.
Yeah.
They remembered stale weed and skunked beer from when they were 15. They just
But I
can't get
like
away from
drinking
it.
Heineken out of the can.
If you've
so.
ever had Heineken right from the brewery, it is so fresh and you just want to drown.
You just want to drink
give it to
You
17-year-olds.
want to drown in it. It's insane.
You just want to open all the valves and run out of the brewery.
Oh yeah. Glug, glug, glug. Oh, it's insane how fresh and how cool it is.
You just want to put it in a glass and pretend it's beer. It's so from the brewery. It's so fresh.
It's just so wet.
Yeah.
All the wetness is just in the glass.
Wetness factor. I'm telling you, man. We don't talk about that enough on this show.
We don't. This beer's a little
We
dry.
should.
Right,
Can
show
we
me.
have
I'm sure you guys don't see enough of it,
new
do you?
show? 2015.
Eine Kundigen unter
I
den
don't think anyone
Bieren.
got that one there.
All right, the last beer.
Wetness.
The last beer we've put in front of you here, Angela, is
Awesomeness.
the Warsteiner Premium, of course.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I didn't know.
wow.
The Warsteiner Premium.
Fuck.
I got none.
That's why it's in a
Seemed to
brown
be.
bottle, dudes.
Warsteiner's what? Is this like a Helles? Is that what a Warsteiner is supposed to be? I think it's a Helles.
Mine's very clear.
I mean, it doesn't. It just says beer on the thing in both.
I got
languages. But I'm pretty sure Warsteiner is supposed to be kind of. It just says premium German beer, but if I'm not mistaken, it should be a Helles. So, Angela, compliment sandwich, please. This one's tough.
This one is.
It says Pilsner.
It's very
Pils, yeah,
clear,
Pilsner. Okay,
so
there
it
you go.
looks pretty. It's very clear.
Oh,
3 points.
Nice, well
All right,
done.
that, yeah.
Just like a Scientologist.
3
Yeah.
points.
Pretty
and clear. Because that's the highest level.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're clear.
Oh, man.
You've achieved clear.
It smells like nothing.
By the way, let me
Awesome.
just point it. See, this is why I keep mentioning your skill at this. That is something that we have used so many times. We're like, oh, the color is just amazing in this.
So
beer.
clear right now.
Like before we get to, we're like, oh, such a deep amber or whatever the beer is.
Yeah.
That's a good go-to.
This
sandwich.
is a hard one, I must say.
Give us the meat.
Skunks are not my favorite animal for a reason.
Yeah.
No.
The brown bottle couldn't save this one from the skunk.
honey
I noticed, too,
badgers
it
aren't
wasn't-
either.
It wasn't the darkest brown bottle I've ever seen either. Look, can I see it again? Yeah, it's a little bit. Either way, no, it's
Somewhat opaque.
That thick glass is expensive, you know. We can't really have it.
Beer quality, my ass. Yeah, this is completely skunked.
Okay, yeah.
But okay, so last compliment. Oh dear.
Sure, yeah, you got
They made it all the way to California.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at her.
No, it's great. I love it.
See, and when we started doing video cameras in our studio too, we had to hide that reaction as well when we have breweries on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Light. How about this? Wheat bread crust in the finish.
There you go.
I don't like crust in my beer.
Not quite water cracker, like not quite cracker, but like cracker wheat bread crust.
Okay.
That's racist.
I say that's a good compliment sandwich.
Back up.
Yeah, Nathan, your work is cut out for you.
I think so. Well, I don't have to steal the first one because the color is just gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Wow. That's just sparklingly clear. I mean, did you distill this?
It's Old Faithful.
It's pronounced Steil.
It drops so bright.
And then you get to the flavor, and that's just I'm impressed once again because not only did you get the paper in there, but you got the ballpoint pen too. I mean, it's
it's inky.
Yeah, we got the whole notepad here.
Wait,
and
go into that one. Go into that one. What do you mean?
Yeah, you get this like ballpoint pen, like kind of inky quality. You get that at all? I get that off oxidation sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that smell or that flavor.
I know the smell, but I've never heard it described in beer. But now I got to go back
Were
to it.
ballpoint pens around when Angela was born?
Like Bic flavored or just like generic?
Like you're playing around with that pen in junior high and you break it open and spill it on your hand or some shit.
It's actually
smell.
I've never used it. I'm stealing that now.
Steal it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a chemical thing, and I'm forgetting the name.
It's iron. It's ferric oxide.
When Nicole and the other master sister hang out, and I just sit there and listen because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's like one of the things I pick up on.
Well,
anyway,
it's inky. It's iron.
Inky.
Iron.
A little bit. Yeah.
If you've ever taken a ballpoint pen, it doesn't work, and you go,
yeah,
oh yeah,
iron tongue.
Yep.
You said ferric oxide.
Yeah.
Is that a real word?
It's iron.
Just checking. Okay.
It's
Fact check that.
It's got a metallic taste.
Iron kind of quality.
Yeah. Essentially rust.
So
And then
it's
the other-
impressive. So you got the paper, the ballpoint pen, and then the cardboard. The whole thing was packaged in the finish. It's just impressive.
Are you telling me that you're using
It's
your
all
negative
compliments.
as
That's
your
the compliment.
compliments?
Yeah.
Nathan.
It's
that-
you can write a book with this beer. You got your pen.
It
You
is.
got
It's
your
just
paper.
amazing.
He combined 3 insults into a compliment.
You were able right there.
So a regular, like,
It was almost like we were in the brewery before they fucked it all up.
I know. I think it says like Georgia Pacific on this bottle.
I say forget Master Cicerone. He is a master sandwich maker.
Yeah.
If you can
Terrible
put your
crap.
compliments and your errors in the same...
Get a job at Subway, dude. You're fucking going for it.
That'll save time.
Ferric oxide is another name for iron oxide, and it does in fact exist.
Okay, there you go.
It's rust.
See? Even Drunk Doc knew what he was talking about. Ferric oxide. You learned
Thank
something
you.
today,
I like
Angela.
that. That's always good.
All right, Beav, are we almost ready to do our rogue contestant game? Good. Angela, you did great at our
Thank you.
Yeah.
compliment sandwich
Nice
game. Yeah.
job. Nice job.
Yeah. And Nathan, I'm going to put you to the test more often. That was
I'm down.
a strong showing.
I'm great at backhanded compliments. Give them all day at work. You guys did a great job.
Ask Nicole.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun and educational. We learned about a couple of off flavors while we were at it, which was the point of the game. So
Yes.
we might have to bring this game back with some other guests who are good.
I got to start buying more beer.
Yeah.
And define the rules.
Do you not have a like? Doesn't every beer geek just have a shitload of old beer anyway?
I don't have-
or was that it?
I don't have a lot. That was most of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
I have a lot too.
I got plenty.
Remember when we moved out of the Pacheco house, we had to have a bad beer party.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, most people have like a good beer party, but we had so much bad beer. I was like, let's throw a party.
Did we find
actually-
one good beer in that whole bunch? I don't think we
I don't
had
believe
one
we did.
good beer.
I think the Crystal Knock beer was the least offensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Which didn't
What's
make
that
it
supposed to
good,
mean?
but
Yeah.
yeah.
I would like to see Roger Davis try to do the compliment sandwich on awful beers like this.
It would go.
He'd be like,
It would go.
Be like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I mean, you got it
Beer,
out of
I
the
don't
bottle.
want any more.
You got it out of the bottle, and
then it was shit.
I'll fucking cut you, and then fucking out.
Yeah.
It's fucking oxidized. You have any IPAs on tap over there?
I'm fucking out.
Nate does
Out.
a good Roger impression. And it even sounded
Nate's
like
real
it.
good at it.
that
Who's
was a
Roger?
good Roger
Yeah.
impression.
Roger Davis,
Davis,
the
Faction
brewmaster at Faction Brewing Company.
I'm
Good.
still learning, guys. Thank you.
No, it's cool. He's a good friend of the show here, so he's been on quite a bit. But
Awesome.
he's also known for his surly attitude.
Aw.
And
which
cutting
is-
people and showing his butt.
Oh.
Not in that order.
No, it sounds like
Actually,
great.
no,
I like
exactly
it.
in that order.
Yeah,
I'll cut you.
that's
Well,
right.
I'll cut you with my butt.
And
That's what he says
wildly
a lot.
inappropriate sense of humor.
Yes. Yeah.
The fuck is this, a petting zoo? I'm fucking out of here.
Triple Rock.
Triple Rock.
I love it. Who knew that Nate could do
Hey.
impressions?
Was that
Nicole.
an impression or
It's
was
like my
that...
one trick.
Yeah.
Wow. I was there.
You still are.
I was there. Oh, my God.
All right.
I looked over to see Roger.
Fucking cut you.
Moscow, are you ready for our rogue situation?
Are we doing guess JP's number or 20 questions?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Moskowitz.
No one reads the show notes.
God damn it. Even I knew that.
Well, then run the game.
You know what? You should probably pipe up, honey.
Motherfucker. All right. Angela, please don't go anywhere if you don't have anywhere to go.
I don't.
Good. Perfect.
Nowhere.
Because we've got another tasting game to play later on, which we call Find the Micro.
Or macro.
Or macro.
It's vague.
We're going to play that later on. In the meantime, what we've got to do is give away our trip to Rogue because the Brewing Network won Club of the Year for something like the 100th time in a row.
Yeah.
And Rogue, as a sponsor of the National Homebrewers Conference Club of the Year, was giving away a trip. And we thought, well, we'll give it away to our vast membership via the Brewing Network style by doing some games. So we had 4 contestants last week, and we ended up with 1 winner. We've got 4 contestants today. We'll end up with 1 winner again, and then the winner from last week will compete against the winner from this week in a completely unknown game for our final.
It has not been made up yet.
Yeah, but what's the game?
We don't know.
So the game, the first game
Feats of strength.
to get down to our
Yes,
4 is 20 questions. But I think it's actually 10 questions in our case, isn't it, Moscow?
I don't know. Don't fucking ask me.
You invented this part.
Let's ask Bevo. She seems to know.
I'm pretty sure. How did we do it last week? 10 questions?
We did 20.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
All right, then it's 20 questions. Let's meet our contestants today. All BN Army members, so you should love them. You should know them. First up is Jerry. Hi, Jerry. What's happening?
Oh, not much. What's going on?
Oh, we're just hanging out with
Hey,
Angela.
Jer.
Hey, how you doing?
Jerry, where are you calling from?
New Hampshire.
New
Of
Hampshire.
course you are.
Just want someone to say, my backyard.
Yeah.
Right here.
Right here. Where are you guys?
3,000 miles away.
All right, Jerry, hang in there. We've also got Nick playing along. Nick, what's happening?
I'm standing on the ground. I can't hang.
Not a whole lot.
Nick, where are you calling from?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
That's how you say it, I think. Let's go to Ben. Ben, what's happening?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's going well. Ben, where are you calling from?
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle. By the way, Bevo should have done all this in the
Where you from, Ben?
in the pre-phone call. Now I got to sit here and. Where are you
how
from?
long has she been answering the phone?
What do you do? How big's your penis?
Oh. In that order, or?
No.
Yeah.
Watch. It's not in that order.
I'm from
Here we go.
12 inches, Connecticut.
Start off with how big's your penis?
Here we go. Scott's on the line. Scott, how big's your penis? Come on, buddy. Don't puss out.
There's only one answer here.
And listen, be honest, because we all know.
We'll know.
You got to take the one out of your mouth first.
Was that Nate?
Big talk from Nate over here.
Oh, negative Nate got on there.
He was complimented out.
I'm sorry, Scott. I didn't hear. How big's your penis?
Around? Or do you guys want to...
What is the girth of your penis?
He makes it's a good question. I didn't specify.
Yeah, how long?
Let's go long.
We're talking tuna can, right?
And also unfold it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's...
The standard
that's
deviation
the ladies'
versus your
life.
buddy.
Scott, where are you calling from?
Pasadena, California.
Pasadena. All right. There we go.
Of course you are. Where else would you be, idiot?
All right, boys. I'm not sure if you tuned in last week, but the game here is 20 questions. And so we're just going to go down the list. Each of you gets to ask a question, and then we go to the next person. You can buzz in at any time if you want to answer what the thing is we're asking questions about, but you only get 2 guesses. Do I have that right, Moscow?
Yes.
A total of 2 guesses, so be careful. However, the first one of you that chimes in and gets it right wins. And then you're going to compete against last week's winner for a chance to go to Rogue. Everything clear?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to go right down the list. However, Scott, you have to tell us what the topic is of the thing we're asking for first.
It's a piece of brewing equipment.
All right, boys. A piece of brewing equipment. Jerry, you're up first. What's your question?
Is it stainless?
Can be, yes.
All right. Nick.
Does it have any sort of filtering system in it?
No.
Ben.
Is it a hot side equipment?
No.
I hope you're all taking notes, not like last week where I went from Ben to Scott, and Scott goes, "Is it hot side equipment?"
And I got emails too after that game, like your games suck.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I got a couple of those.
Oh, you got hate mail?
Yeah, I did.
That's weird.
That's terrible.
Those anti-Semites.
Yeah, that's always Scott's response. You're just anti-Semitic. All right, Scott, go ahead. The other Scott.
Does it involve hops?
It can.
Okay.
Damn.
It can.
I know.
I don't know what it is, by the way. I didn't get the pre.
You did. I re-forwarded you the email.
Oh, I didn't even look. I kind of like not knowing. Actually,
Someone didn't read the show
I feel like
notes.
I'm playing along.
I didn't see it.
I feel like I'm playing along.
Yeah. All right, Jerry.
You're a secretary.
It's
You're
back.
not playing along.
It's back to you. Are you keeping track of how many? That was 4 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Jerry, you're up. I had to do that on my toes.
Is it used after a whirlpool?
Yes.
Not hot side.
Remember, anybody can chime in at any time. Just say your name, yell out your name, but you only get 2 chances to do that. Nick, you're up with a question or
Doc.
And make sure if you want to answer, you say, "Hey, I'm answering. This is not my question." Go ahead, Nick.
Is it involved with packaging?
No.
Ben,
Jerry.
you're up.
Jerry
Oh,
buzzed.
Jerry,
answering the
hang
question.
on 1 sec. Jerry buzzed in to give an answer. Go ahead, Jerry.
Is it a hot back?
No.
All right. Don't worry, Jerry. You get another chance, but you've used up half of your chances. Who's up? Ben?
All right, I'm going to make a guess. Is it Bright Tank?
Ben comes in with a guess.
No.
Is it a bright tank?
No,
the
sir.
answer is no. All right. Scott, you're up with a question or a guess.
I'm going to make a guess. Is it a fermentation vessel?
No, not specific enough. No.
Oh. Hey.
This is Ben. Wanted to make another guess.
All right, Ben's jumping in with his second and final guess of the game. Go ahead, Ben.
Is it a conical fermenter?
Nailed it! Conical fermenter, Ben wins, ladies and gentlemen! Wow. What a riveting game of 20 questions. Ben, you're our winner, my friend.
I'm so glad you didn't
All right,
suck.
Ben, I need you to hang on the line. Jerry, thank you for playing. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that you can't go to Rogue with us this year.
I'm sorry, too.
Meet us there, though.
But I do appreciate you playing, and thanks for being a part of the Brewing Network Club, man.
Okay, thanks.
Cheers, brother. Nick, same with you, man. I'm sorry you didn't win, but I do thank you, man.
No problem.
All right, brother. Later.
Nick's on AHA website looking for a new club right now.
And then finally, Scott, you did a great job. I appreciate you playing, but you didn't win. I'm sorry, brother.
That's all right. Thanks.
Cheers.
Just send some hate mail.
Yeah.
Right. Scott at the Brewing Network.
All right, so that gives us Ben. Ben, you still on the line?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, Ben, we're going to get our contestant from... Oh, I just dropped your line. Sorry, Beaver. I just hung up on our other contestant. All right, Ben, so just hang tight for a second. You're going to compete against last week's winner, and one of you is going to Rogue with us.
Yes.
With us bunch
All
of
right.
dickheads.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so hang tight for a second. All
I'd
right.
say we should have a meet and greet, but Newport is real small.
No, but like a listener?
Yeah.
We're still going to do it. It'll be meet and greet with four other people.
Yeah.
Us and
like
4 other people.
Last time I went to Rogue, there's just a bunch of crab fishermen in like the only other bar in town, which is right next door to Rogue, and it's like, ooh, I'm going to get in a fight.
Those were the other 4 people I was hoping for.
Okay,
was the
great.
crab fishermen.
Oh, man. Ruthless.
Should we wear like the
overalls and shit?
Yeah, as part of our as our whole stay in Newport.
Wait, you got to fit in.
Totally.
That's what I feel like.
With the rubber overall.
Pretend that we're just like, oh yeah,
Shoot a
big
fish.
day hauling in the nets and shit.
I
Give
feel
me
like
a
you
fucking
and
Jack
Beardy-
Coke and hold the Coke.
I do feel like the two of you could totally pass as locals if you just don't shower for a couple of days.
They look like they're like.
And you
total
put on the
road.
rubber
Yeah.
overalls, you'll be in good shape.
I would live in Newport. It's a really nice.
So me and
town.
Justin are gonna sit in reserve, and you guys get overpowered.
Oh,
We'll come in.
No, if we get overpowered, you're going to warm the car up.
Yeah. Maybe not even that.
Yeah.
No.
Doc will warm the car up. You'll be Google mapping the hospital to take us to.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, hell no.
Beaver, do we have our other contestant?
I'm not known in that
Yes, we do.
And it's Charles.
It's Charles.
And you asked where he's from this time. That was cool of you.
Even the blind squirrel.
9.5 inches.
Wait,
Ohio.
Never mind.
How do you know him? What's his tag?
Charles, welcome back to the program.
Better be fucking Charles in charge.
Listen, Charles, this is it. This is it. You and Ben right now. Charles, are you black or did you just grow up in the ghetto?
No, I'm black.
That's what I thought.
And you grew up in the ghetto.
Ben, are you black or and trying to fake it, or did you just grow up in the suburbs?
I'm from Seattle, so.
Yeah, I am from Seattle.
I'm from Seattle. I totally programmed the entire thing that you're working on right now.
Do you have black rimmed glasses, or did you just grow up in Seattle?
Right.
No, they're kind of tortoiseshell.
You would have a fucking Get out of town. I think I have tortoiseshell glasses. Yeah, I think I do.
I think he's blacker than Terrence.
Okay. Ben, if you saw Charles on the street, would you run?
They don't know each other
or just
yet.
throw your wallet at him and walk on casually?
I think it depends if I win or not.
Or you try to ask for 2 for $5s?
Charles, if you saw Ben on the street, would you run or
take his wallet?
Just curious. All right, you'd run. I don't blame you. Ben sounds creepy.
Yeah, those computer programmer guys are crazy.
All right, we got Charles from North Carolina. We got Ben from Seattle, and they're both competing for a chance to, for them and a friend or spouse or significant other, whatever you want to do, to come to Rogue. You're going to get to brew a beer that we're going to serve at the National Homebrewers Conference in San Diego. Plus, you're going to get the royal treatment. You get to stay in the loft up above the Rogue tap room.
So good. It's so nice. There's a washing machine and a dryer.
Oh, that's
cool. And they leave a 6-pack of beer in there and 2 glasses in the fridge.
Wow.
If you said, hey, I want Beardy as my friend, he'd be your friend.
They have a couple 2-bedroom flats up there. There's 3.
I don't think he cares.
I can't say enough good things about it.
And we're going to come hang out with you. Are you ready to find out your game for this evening?
Let's do it.
All right. Rather than 20 questions, we wanted to do something a little more challenging. Since this is the finals, we thought we should really put you guys to the test. So we're playing Guess JP's Number tonight. That's right. We're bringing back an old favorite. Everybody loves Guess JP's Number. One of the most difficult games in the history of the Brewing Network.
True test of their mental power.
Yeah, right. Almost as difficult as my Rochambeau game.
Yeah. I mean, Cicerone, bullshit compared to passing the game Guess JP's Number.
Right. I was the youngest person ever to think of Guess JP's Number.
Yeah, you were.
Where the fuck's my radio spot?
So I hope you two have been studying.
Where's my modeling career?
And spending. Well, listen, that's still ahead of you. I think. I feel like that dream has not died.
You're probably right.
You had too big a number to ever make it.
It's true. I was too good.
Nobody would have ever guessed that number.
Who has a quarter in their pocket? I need a coin. We got to flip a coin. Somebody's got a coin.
I don't have a coin, man.
I got a knife.
Angela's got a coin. Is it an American coin or a Michigan coin?
It's probably a Michigan shit.
Let's take a guess. Was the coin minted before or after she was born?
Oh, all right.
That's a good guess.
After.
New game.
It's definitely after. Does anybody want to take before without seeing the coin? Does anybody think the coin may have been minted before Angela was born? It was minted in 2014, so that doesn't even count.
Winner! It doesn't count. I win.
I mean, it counts, but
whatever.
All right, here's what I'm going to do, Charles and Ben. I'm going to flip a coin, and heads, it's Charles. Tails, it's Ben, and it's for who gets to guess first. Because technically, you could get it right in the first try. JP has chosen a number between 1 and 20. JP, have you chosen the number?
I, in fact, have, yes.
I feel like you should write it down for yourself.
We
you don't
need
have to-
verification.
because I don't want you to cheat.
Why would I ever cheat?
Because you're a racist.
Shit.
You have no...
So write the number down. Don't let the cameras see it. Here, I'm going to block the camera just in case.
Don't write 13 down.
He's going to pick the number now. It's between 1 and 20. Heads, it's Charles to start. Tails, it's Ben. And you're just going to guess back and forth.
That camera's not on.
Can we find out what beers they entered and helped the Brienne Club win?
Sure. Charles, what beer did you enter into the National Homebrewers Conference?
Brown Porter, Robust Porter, and I can't remember the other two.
Nice. And did you... Now, we took both first and second round. Did you go through to the second round?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, good effort putting 3 beers in. That's fantastic. Yeah. And, Ben, what did you enter?
Bourbon Barrel Stout, a Roggen beer, and an American Pale Ale.
Beautiful. Anything go through the second round?
No, I got a 40 on my Bourbon Barrel Stout, but I got beat by a Smoked Hellas.
Wow.
Fuckers.
A 40 that didn't go through. That's amazing.
Well, Smoked Hellas, that's got to be good.
Well, here's what I have to say. Fuck the second round. One of you is going to brew at Rogue. So how about that?
Yeah.
Who needs the second round when you get to brew with John Meyer?
Yeah, I mean, not Beardy and I. Oh, wait, we did.
That's right. We did make it to the second round.
All right, is the number chosen?
The number has been chosen?
The number between 1 and 20 has been chosen. I will now flip the coin. And heads, it's Charles. Tails, it's Ben.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Heads.
You're all athletic.
It's heads. These glasses are fucking with me.
That baseball shirt really let you down.
Yeah, almost hit myself in the face with my own hand.
It gives him enough room to move his arms and not restrict him, but clearly didn't.
All right, Charles, you're going to guess first a number between 1 and 20. Look, the first person to guess the number is going to Rogue with us. Charles, go ahead, please.
13.
Is it 13, JP?
Incorrect.
It's not 13.
Translation. It's not.
Well, that's I have to build suspense.
Right.
How am I doing so far?
You're doing great.
Thank you. Ben, go ahead, please.
14.
JP, is it 14? JP says it's not 14. He actually shook that it's not 14.
Well, because I want to build suspense.
Good.
So I figured it better if you say it, because you're more suspending than I am.
I am good.
Nate's on the edge of his smartphone right now.
I am. I don't have headphones. I'm on digital land.
Charles, it's back to you.
7.
Is it lucky number 7, Jason Petros? It's not 7. I'm sorry, Charles. Ben, it's your turn.
15.
15 as in 1-5?
Yeah, 1-5.
15, Jason Petros. BJCP judge.
Oh.
It's also not 15. We're really narrowing it down here. The suspense is building.
I didn't know we were going full titles today.
What's your middle name?
Nicholas.
Charles, go ahead, please.
I like Nicholas.
3? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Jason Nicholas Petros. Is your number 3? It's not number 3, Charles. I'm sorry.
Thanks for shaking your head into the microphone.
Yeah. Can you do it closer to the microphone, please?
Sorry, I'll do better with that. Yeah.
Ben, go ahead.
20.
20. He's guessing number 20. Jason Nicholas Petro. Is it number 20? Oh, it's not number 20. Unfortunately. Would you like a lifeline? No, go ahead, Charles. Yeah. The lifeline's like, no, it's still not 20. Charles.
Number 9.
Jason Petros, is it Love Potion number 9? Oh, it's not number 9! But we are getting down to it, and what a riveting game of Guess JP's number we have here today. After the break... Just kidding. We're down to take a break.
Oh. No, just take a break.
We might. I have to pee-pee. I have to mixturate.
Ben, go ahead, please.
I'll go 17.
Ben's going lucky 17. Petros? It is not number 17. Charles, you're up.
11.
Ooh, lucky number 1 together in one number. What do you
what are
think?
you in training for right
That's
now?
2 ones, everybody.
Yeah. Not number 2, but 11.
Or number 1.
Or 11.
I sat on the bus with a kid in school once who was asking the football jock, hey, what's your number going to be? And the jock was like, oh, it's going to be 00. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. Mine's going to be 1. And the football jock, being the dumbest guy on the bus, goes, you mean 11? And then the guy was like, shit, yes, you're right. Who's up? Charles?
No.
I think Ben chose double one. Charles, you're up.
No. Charles chose 11.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Ben.
I chose 11.
Thank you. Good sportsmanship on both of your parts. Ben, go ahead.
1.
Single one. Jason Petros?
Now I have 111 on my sheet, and I don't know what to make of it.
No, not a no, hell no.
Is 1 the number? Oh, JP says no, that's not the number.
No.
We got to be getting close, right?
How many numbers are there left?
Wait, I was supposed to pick a number? Seriously?
All right, back to... Who are we on?
Charles.
Thank you, Charles. Go ahead, please.
4.
Charles picks 4. JP? Oh, it's not 4. Ben, go ahead.
Do 16.
Ben's picking 16. JP says no to 16. The longest game of Guess JP's number ever. Charles, what's your guess?
5.
5. JP says.
Even 5 can't keep you alive. Let's do bingo shit right now.
Ben.
Go 18.
It's not 18.
That makes the most sense, though, if JP's picking a number between 1 and 20.
It does?
That's the best number for him.
18?
Right.
Because of the die? 18-sided die or something?
No.
Oh.
I think Beardy is talking about legal sexing age.
Yeah, fine.
Wow. Since when do you speak Beardy? Bevo.
What's wrong with you guys? Like, that wasn't that.
All right, back to Charles,
Look, the
I
only
believe.
rules I follow are the rules of the road. Okay?
Charles, go ahead.
6.
Is it... Jesus. I'm sure that he's changing his number every time.
I wish this would... Oh,
it is not 6.
God.
Ben, go ahead, please.
19.
Is it... It's not 9. What the...
Angela can tell that I'm not cheatery. There's no cheatery.
Angela, is there any cheatery?
No cheater.
Does he get to do a
No.
decimal? Is it like 14.7?
It's all fractional, yeah. 14 ninths.
JP, which numbers are left?
Well,
That's
then I
math,
feel like
dude.
if either one of them wasn't keeping track, you're giving them an advantage.
I
They
have
should
been
keep
keeping
track on their own.
So late in the game, it's worth one.
Charles, is it back to Charles? I think it's Charles.
Yeah, 8.
8. You're kidding me, JP.
No.
It is not 8.
I swear.
Yeah.
Ben?
2.
No.
You know, at first I thought maybe we made the wrong decision choosing this as our final game.
This is the best.
You
This
went
is
1
the
to
best.
20. I mean...
This is what determines who goes to Rogue right
Yeah,
now.
it should be a long, grueling process.
You have to earn it.
Yeah, they're drawing on their Sesame Street skills right now.
So far, it's been longer and harder than 20 questions.
Right.
Back to Charles.
10.
Is it 10? It's not 10.
Oh, man.
Angela and JP are the only ones that know the number, and watching their faces has been a lot of fun. Ben,
priceless.
you're up.
12.
Is it 12? It's 12! Hey! Ben's going to Rogue. What numbers were left, even?
I think...
Was 3 left?
Was there one number left?
No, I don't...
2.
There was just
That was it. That was it.
Charles was
Two
about
called
to
it.
win.
So we had 1, we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 was called 8. 9. 10 was just called 11. 12 was the number. 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. That was
it was the numbers. Listen, you two are professionals. And Ben, congratulations.
I could have hoped for no better outcome.
Now, I have to ask, Ben, would you like to bring Charles as your rogue partner?
I think you should.
I'm just throwing it out there. You can bring anyone you want. You get one partner, and I'm just putting it out there.
That was a team effort.
I think I might end up divorced if I do that.
That could be a good thing. I don't know.
All right, Charles, I tried, and so did you. Thanks for playing, brother, and for supporting the Brewing Network Club.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Man. All right. Cheers, dude.
Great work.
Have a good one.
All right.
Do we
you
have
too.
consolation prizes?
Yeah, we are going to send a consolation prize.
Right.
In fact, I should have kept him on the line, but I dumped him. I think we're going to send a kettle to Charles because for winning,
nice.
For winning Club of the Year, we also got a kettle donated to the club.
Oh, nice.
So I
Awesome.
think it's like a 7-gallon stovetop type kettle.
Awesome.
So we'll send that over to Charles. Please note that, Bevo, and get in contact with him. Ben, you're stuck with us, man.
Oh, that's going to be freaking awesome. I'm pumped.
Good. Bevo will give you all the details that you need, and we'll be seeing you in Newport, Oregon. Right, Bev?
That's correct.
All right. Thanks, brother.
But not before then.
I'm going to put you on hold so Bevo can talk to you and ask you out on a date or whatever happens. I don't know what she does with
So
that.
how do you feel about moms? Because I just need to know.
I'm a mom.
Terrence
I have a mom.
has weighed in on that decision, and he just wanted to point out that you're all racist.
Because Charles didn't win?
Because Charles was not the
I feel
winner.
a little racist that way, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like you picked a number that was more likely to be guessed by a white man than a black man. And I feel like that makes us racist.
Let me call Al Sharpton and get some sensitivity
What do you think about
training.
1 dozen, Al?
I prefer a baker's dozen.
I kind of hoped that he had picked Charles. I mean, I thought that would be fun if he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm bringing the loser with us.
Well, and ideally his wife is not going to want to hang out at Rogue and watch him brew and shit, and there's no shopping to do.
She's going to want to hang out with the fishermen at that other bar.
She might.
That might be true. It also might not be true. Maybe
Right.
she'll...
Well, of course.
Maybe she's more beery than he is.
She might. You're right.
I
But
don't
I doubt she's more beery than Charles.
So now you're racist and sexist. Way to go, guys.
What else can I be?
Yeah. By the way, now...
Well, I read on a forum that this is a very misogynistic show.
Yeah, I read that forum too. Angela, did you read that forum?
You had to read a forum
before you came
I
on the
should have done my
program?
research. I didn't.
Yeah.
Man,
Listen.
stuck.
Oh, well.
The sensitivity training at Heretic has not been working.
All right, we've got another break to take.
That's why it's called Heretic.
Is this our third break only?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to play another game. Plus, we got some beer news. But we're going to play Find the Macro or the Micro.
Correct.
Another tasting game for our Cicerone and Nathan. Whatever he is.
Some other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a resident growler.
Like a
Before we go, if you don't know about the American Homebrewers Association, you should go to homebrewersassociation.org. And right now, if you go to their homepage, you can learn 4 ways to sour a Berliner Weiss.
Shit.
All kinds of good information over on homebrewersassociation.org. And if you become a member, you have access to the forum, plus beer discount program. We give a discount for AHA members here at the Hop Grenade, plus tons of pubs all across the country. So become a member by clicking the AHA link right on our homepage. It's a link, and it says AHA, and you click it. And then when you go there, we get a little cut, and they get you get a membership. You get Zymergy magazine. You get all sorts of cool stuff like 4 ways to sour a Berliner.
and IPA brewing advice by JP. No, wait, no, that's not in there.
Yeah, that's the
could be.
forthcoming book from JP.
They haven't asked me to write it, so what am I going to do?
It's one chapter. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, this is the cheapest book we've ever produced.
Chapter 2, broaden your horizons, dummy.
Chapter 3, fuck.
Chapter 4.
Are we still talking about this?
Why won't my check cash?
All right,
Your
let's
advance.
take a quick break, and we'll come back and party some more with Angela's Style Steil. Hang in there, it's the session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Starting a brewery is not for the faint of heart. It's definitely a labor of love. If you're not going to give it 100%, don't bother.
Brewers Publications is proud to present the Brewers Association Guide to Starting Your Own Brewery by Elysian Brewing's Dick Cantwell. Business plans, financing, sustainability, and more. This book takes you through the planning and execution needed to turn the dream of craft brewing into a reality. Whether you want to open a brew pub or a packaging brewery, learn the professional side of ingredients, wastewater, quality, and how to build the craft brewery of the future. The Brewers Association Guide to Starting Your Own Brewery, available now from Brewers Publications and brewerspublications.com. Adventures in Homebrewing has the knowledge and expertise to craft their own gear and original recipes. Some of the things homebrewing.org creates and manufactures in-house are the Brutus brew stands and propane burners, the Serial Killer adjustable 2-roller grain mill with 7-pound hopper, custom stainless steel false bottoms designed to fit kegels, coolers, and mini-sized brew pots. And the BN Army receives 10% off their homebrewing.org orders when they use coupon code AIH10 at checkout. The Brewers at Adventures in Homebrewing have designed a huge selection of original recipes for extract and all-grain brewing. Adventures in Homebrewing original recipes are tried and tested, proven to be of the best quality. And right now, Adventures in Homebrewing is shipping 24 of their best recipes for free. Visit homebrewing.org for the most current selection. Once you try one of Adventures in Homebrewing recipes, you'll keep coming back for more. And now, it's even easier with free shipping on these kits. And don't forget to use the current coupon code AIH10. Adventures in Homebrewing at homebrewing.org.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
The bellies are full. The glasses are full. We've got another game to play. And, a couple more things to do with Angela. We got some tasting to do. If you want to get some questions in, it's 888-401-BEER or hit the chat button on the homepage. Also, I want to let you know about the Beersmith homebrewing software. You've heard us talk about it here, but it's the best homebrewing software available. And you get a free 21-day trial. Just go to beersmith.com and you can download it, and it's available for PC or Mac. And if you haven't heard...
Right on the microphone cover.
There you go, Nate.
Right on the microphone
I think
cover.
Scott just took a shower, too.
Oh.
One of our guests today, a good pal of mine, who's been wanting to be on the air for quite some time, just literally sneezed not only on Scott's particular
entire
microphone
body,
but on Scott as well. Which, Scott, if I were you, first I would throw up. But then after I was done throwing up, I would be upset.
That stuff came
and
out.
now Scott can't even talk into the microphone.
He just wants to shower.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in radio.
Tasty gave me his mic.
There's stuff like glistening on here.
I've been meaning to take all these mic covers home and wash them, actually.
God,
so now
how do
it's
you
gonna
even
happen.
do that?
Now you have
Puff fucking
perfect
leads. Let's just
excuse.
get on this radio show.
It's not any worse than yours, Justin. You got chunks of food in your in your screen there.
Yeah, but it's mine.
It is yours.
It's
Well, it might be mine too.
You know where it's all.
Oh,
been.
you guys. Yeah, but I don't care. 'Cause it's
hungry,
mine.
you can have a
and then
snack.
you guys sit here. I don't care.
Yeah. No, but it might be mine also. I get
Oh,
my
I see
beer
from your
caught in
show.
there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, I never thought about it that way. Now I'm about to throw up.
Yeah. I think you should.
All right, don't forget,
throw up on Scott's mic cover.
beersmith.com also has homebrewing DVDs. You can learn how to brew all grain with our friend John Palmer. That's right, how to brew all grain, DVDs, the software, everything over at Beersmith, plus the podcast. So go check it out. It's good stuff. All right, we have lined up for you right now. We've got a new game. It's the night of new games.
Yeah. A night of new games for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's like an episode of Love Boat.
New games. Sort of exciting and kind of new.
Yeah. We've done them.
Thank you very much. All right.
So this game, what we've done is we're doing the old triangle test.
Yeah.
Which is sort
Triangle.
Yeah. Something exciting and triangle-like. In this case, so the triangle test, you might remember, we just learned about this ourselves here recently on the BN. It's a great way where you pick the odd man out.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
And so what you do is you take 3 beers, and 2 of them are the same, and one's different. And it's a bit of it's a way to do a blind tasting. And if you can pick the odd man out, it's just kind of a better way to do blind tastings in a sense, especially in this case, because what we've done. We're trying to find the micro or the macro.
Correct.
In other words, of the 3 beers in front of you, either 2 of them are a macro beer pretending to be a micro beer, and then one's a micro beer, or 2 of them are a micro beer, and one is a macro beer pretending to be a micro beer. And it's your job to tell us which is the odd man out, and then is it a micro or a macro. Right? Mm-hmm. Do I have that right?
You have that right.
That's amazing.
Pretend is a strong word.
Did I say pretend?
Yeah. You said the macros are pretending to be micro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they might just be making their beer.
Oh, did you just do? You didn't do one of like the. Because I had asked you to do
Warren
one of
shut
the.
Up is what he should do.
I had asked you to do one of the like.
Oh, I know.
But that might not be what we've done.
No, I think what you were saying is fine, and Warren should not be talk right now.
Because at least JB could get yelled at later.
No, because I think that the choices that I made, I stand behind the choices that I made.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not a good test or a good challenge. I'm just saying those macro breweries aren't necessarily trying to be like, I'm going to try to get into this micro beer market with this beer.
Oh, but
It's
that's
just
what
like
I had asked for.
they're-
So he's clarifying that they might not be like River Bend made by Anheuser-Busch or whatever.
I did what I thought was appropriate for the game that I created. And
He did a great job.
And when I tested this game, it worked very well.
Well, that's all.
So this is the
It is.
game that we're playing. You guys can deal with it.
Yeah.
Also, Beardy's an asshole, is what
Correct.
JP is saying.
Yes. You're welcome. Everyone.
That's the other thing JP is saying. I love
Reserve
how-
your judgment for after the game.
I will do that, and I hope the game goes well. I just want to point out, I enjoy how things go in the meeting, and we talk.
Yeah.
And there are specific guidelines given to everybody. And
Yeah.
then by the time we get to a show, did we even have a meeting?
We did. And so the way I thought of this game was, since I created it,
look what I've done.
I could take creative license with how it was. We should hold it for the end because I don't want to give anything away.
That's
but
fine.
If you want to find beers of a particular style, that's very hard to do with macros trying to be micros.
Right.
It's nay impossible to find things that are of equivalent palate, equivalent tastes, equivalent color and style across the board like that. So I
if
did
they were
what
all
I
the
thought
same,
was
yeah.
proper.
If it's not a good game, it is also my fault because I had some help in picking these beers.
Sure.
So-
And you're an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also so it could be my fault anyway, even if it is a great game. I screwed it
I
up.
stand behind the game. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you need a non-employee life coach in these meetings? I have these positive comments. And I never say mean things, so I can help you guys all get along.
I don't feel like we need a life coach. Let me just point this out. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
See, people wanted the behind-the-scenes documentary.
Sure. This is it.
Here it is. To everybody who's in the Brewing Network meeting, which is in this room, it's me, Scott, and JP. So just so everybody knows who I'm talking to.
That was.
I request two things. I request that you take notes.
Yes.
Comprehensive notes.
Wrong.
About what we decide.
Apparently Doc says wrong.
Then, if you decide to take creative license, I'm pretty down with that.
Yeah.
I want to know about it ahead of time.
Okay.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
That's your behind-the-scenes Brewing Network look. There are things that we say, and then once we get in here, if the things are different, there's one person in the room who flips his lid.
But it's not very different, and you'll find out at the end.
That's fine.
So
and
what
lid
Lauren
is not being
saying-
flipped right now.
And I didn't care if it was, because it's a good game. We did it. The core feeling of the game is fine. You don't even know. You don't even know if it's 2 micros or 2 macros. So you don't even fucking know.
The game hasn't even been done yet, and you're freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
just
freaking
relax.
out.
You are freaking out, but you're
I'm actually
in a
not
very
freaking out.
controlled way.
No, actually, I'm totally not freaking out because I can tell by your tone that the game's going to go fine.
It's going to be amazing.
So I'm comfortable with the game. I am setting a precedent.
Yeah.
That I want you all to take comprehensive notes and then tell me if we're deviating from the plan.
Okay, realize that, remember that, and then after the game, see if what you just said applies to this.
Okay.
Seriously.
That's fair.
Seriously.
I literally.
The point's still...
and I understand
The point
that.
is still
And you
valid.
know that I try as hard as I can to make whatever your vision is become a reality.
Yeah.
That being said, it was very impossible to do that in this game.
Okay.
So I did the second best thing without bothering you first.
Okay.
Without putting undue stress upon you, the
I
Lord
like
and
that.
Creator. I made a choice.
I like that.
I made a choice.
I'm really not freaking out. I'm just laying
I
ground
know.
rules.
No, I know, and I'm just
in this
saying
case.
that this is an amazing game.
That was a lot of fun.
Already, it's so much fun.
Nobody's stressed, right?
Already, it's really comfortable.
So what's the game again?
All right.
We don't know yet.
It's find the macro or the micro.
Right.
Okay.
Awesome.
So let's go ahead and start. Doc's our cheerleader.
Find me warm.
Awesome.
Or micro. Do you want to know if it's macro or micro?
No.
All right.
No, I think that's a fun part of this triangle.
It's fun.
So we're deciding two things. We're guessing the odd one out because it's a triangle test. And then you're telling us, is the odd one out the micro or the macro?
Correct.
That works, right?
Yeah, that works.
So I like the two. I don't even want to know, how it's skewed. So go ahead and start tasting so that we're not all tasting at once. Everyone's got 3
Don't mix
beers.
them up.
Keep them in the order that they were given to you. I will taste in a moment as you guys all
Don't be
go on
confused
through.
with the fact that we walked into this room. And
Doc, shut up and start tasting.
There's 3 beers in front of us that I knew nothing about.
Will you start tasting, goddammit?
I did.
Because otherwise I got to ramble on
started
while
tasting
you're all
already.
tasting.
I really did.
And you're prepared to vote?
I formed my opinion.
Doc.
I really have.
Does Doc have taste buds anymore?
Yes.
It looks so different. It seems obvious.
Would you like a pen, Justin?
I would like a pen.
It's actually a pencil.
And
You
now,
asked for a pen.
is this the pen we talked about in the meeting or a different
No,
pen?
it's a pencil.
Because I said in the meeting that there's certain pens I like and certain pens I don't like.
Well, look, if you wanted a pen that you liked, you should have been brand specific.
It's the second best option.
Don't leave shit up to me.
Look, I'm going to put my Post-it note in between the 3 glasses, and I'm going to point an arrow to each glass.
Just to rub the ball on your balls and it'll start writing again.
All right, I'm going to start tasting, too. Nathan, have you already tasted?
Yep.
Without giving us a judgment, why don't you start talking about the 3 beers in front of you, please, so I can taste?
No judgment.
No judgment? You just want me to talk about it?
They're all very wet.
Talk about you can talk about them however you
color.
want. Just don't give us your verdict.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wetness factor is good. 10 out of 10 on all 3 of these. You know. The not much imported factor, though. The imported factor here is very, very low, unfortunately. But beer number 1, nice little acetaldehyde example. Beer number 2, nice little diacetyl example. Beer number 3, nice little oxidation example. So that kind of guided how I decided which brewery they're from and who handled it.
Huh, wow.
Microphone drop.
But
There you go.
that was an open-faced compliment insult sandwich. It was just compliment insult.
Yeah.
You didn't finish it up with anything good.
So, do you want me to... No, we're going to talk about that later. The macro-micro
Let's
thing.
move on. Move on.
Well, I don't want you to vote yet because I haven't made my decision, so I don't want to be skewed by your vote. But this is a tough test. Which is why we like the idea to begin with.
You did great. I think the beer selection is amazing so far.
good.
Tasty, can you talk about the three beers
Green
without
apple,
giving
butter, and paper.
your verdict?
Yeah, they each have they have a very like a craft character, because a lot of times craft arrives as soon as we're bottled beers, so it has a sort of a package issue sort of thing is what I'm getting. The beer number 2, the middle beer, to me sort of has a macro character to it, but it has
what is a macro character?
well, like it's a mass-produced lager, a lot of lager character, like they'd like to do.
Just like it's a light American lager?
Adjunct character, you mean?
Yeah, like adjunct character. Yeah, that kind of, which is, maybe too clean, Yeah, it's not as tainted as the other.
As the other
Number
two?
3 tastes like Fat Tire a lot to me. I don't know. It's just kind of a lot of phenolic character.
Angela Steil.
I'm still writing notes. Grab someone else, then I'll come right back to
Okay,
you.
that's fine. Moskowitz.
I think that even despite the off flavors, there's a clear standout beer here. Do you want me to say which one it is?
Yeah, we can do that. That's good.
The darkest of the three is clearly the outlier.
Is that beer? Are we calling that beer number 3, Beardy and JP?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
One, two, or three. Beer number 3. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beer number
No,
three.
I didn't know that.
No,
either,
I should have labeled it.
3 is the outlier.
So the darkest
is what
one
you're
there is
saying.
3. You're saying that's the odd man out.
Yeah, I mean, if Nate says his off flavor comments were right, but even despite it, there's still a clear difference.
Okay.
The 3. Yeah.
So
when you say outlier, are you calling it macro or micro?
Well, he's just saying it's a different one, and I don't want him to answer that yet until I ask if everybody's made their decision on which is the micro.
I have my opinion now, too.
You've got your decision on what you think. Tasty, do you have your decision?
Yeah, I have mine.
Doc, you've got your decision yet? I don't quite have mine.
Oh, just
I'm
talking
close.
through, too. I don't know if I completely decided yet, but I'm just noticing that the first one here, I would absolutely say the acetaldehyde, all that vegetal character in the first one here. But at the same time, it has pronounced hop bitterness in the finish. And typically, when you're having macro breweries attempting a micro beer, they're not really paying attention to as much bitterness because they have a very different audience who is not looking for that hop bitterness in the finish. So perhaps I would maybe say that wouldn't be macro, just maybe had some acetaldehyde in it. But the next one, I get straight up just balloon, like licking a balloon. It seems very, very off.
That's number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2, I'm
so
sorry,
that
number
like
2.
rubbery, plasticky.
Yeah, it's like plastic balloon, lightly skunked, oxidized. I find that one to be a very poor example. I find that if a microbrewery is going to be doing a light lager of this style, then they're going to be paying very close attention typically and not have this many off flavors when doing it versus a macrobrewery when they have typically a lot of lagers. They're going to make many more mistakes because you're trying to pump them out very, very quickly. Versus the last one here, it has a lot of vegetal character, but I feel like it's very intentional versus being acetaldehyde vegetal.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm getting personally.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning toward that. Now that everybody's made their vote, basically in their own brains.
Yeah.
So we're going to start revealing.
Well, yeah, we might as well.
My vote's in Doc's brain.
I'm leaning toward 1 and 2 are the macro, and 3 is the micro. But I'm not basing it on flaws one way or the other. I guess I'm just basing it more on like a fuller flavor. It's more body, more flavor, kind of an all malt situation. I need this still. Beer, do you have to get?
I got it.
Oh, damn.
I got it.
I figured someone should be writing it down.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good thing.
However, I'm going to taste them again before I make my decision because JP is a tricky bastard.
So you said 1, 2 macro.
Well, I'm
3
leaning.
micro?
I'm leaning toward that.
Okay.
I got it. What part of I got it didn't you understand, asshole?
Getting sassy here.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with
you
my.
almost blew my game up.
It was a compliment.
You turd.
Well, whatever.
I'm going to stick with my original guess.
Last time I help you.
1 and 2 are macro, and number 3, the darker of the 3, is a micro. Not because of color, not because of less off flavors either, just because of a more of like an all malt flavor.
It's the maltiest.
It's an all barley. I'm probably totally wrong.
All barley, but not imported, folks.
Right. It's not the imported barley flavor.
That shit's clearly domestic.
It does taste very imported, though. number 3 tastes very imported.
Quality.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like number 3 is probably micro, but it's just not a good.
Sure.
Not good.
So then is that your answer?
More, and I got it.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry.
Angela, go ahead. What is your assessment on the 3?
My take is that I think the first one is micro, despite the off flavors, but I still, again, because I have bitterness, believe that this is probably micro. The second one, I definitely think is macro, and I think the third one is micro as well, but again, just not a very good example of a style or a very good beer in the first place. But yeah, so micro, macro, micro.
Got it. So you're saying the odd one out is the macro, the big beer,
which is number 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Number
1 and 3 are craft,
All right.
and number 2. All right. And I had 1 and 2 as macro, and number 3 as craft. Tasty, what do you think?
Angela and I are on the same page.
Okay.
2 is the macro, and it's the odd beer out.
And it's the odd beer out. So 1 and 3 are craft. Moskowitz.
I'm saying 1 macro, 2 macro, 3 micro.
Okay, same as me on that one, JP.
Okay. Warren, you getting all this?
You told me to stop. And since I'm your friend, I stopped so that you could have the spotlight.
Nathan Smith.
Number 1 is macro, and I'm going to go so far as to say Budweiser macro. Middle one is some microbrewery unfortunate Kolsch.
Number 2 is the micro.
Calling out the style here.
that they rushed out of the tank. Number 3 is macro Miller product.
Okay.
Nathan calling his shot. He just pointed the bat at center field.
Yeah, here it is, folks.
And then walked off.
Right there. Right? He's got Nicole whispering in his ear, though.
Did Nicole influence your decision? Because I was going to ask hers as well now while we're at. She did not influence your decision.
No. We're going by off flavor, too, okay?
Do you want her to play?
Acetaldehyde acceptable for some macro. Diacetyl, never acceptable for macro. Oxidation, sometimes happens because they pump so much of it out and sits around.
Nicole, triangle test. You're telling us 2
JP
things.
would try to mess with us. And
Not a triangle test.
You're telling us which is the odd one out, and then you're telling us is that odd one out a micro beer or a macro beer?
The darkest
These are
one.
3 different beers.
That's right. Two of them.
It's not a triangle test.
Yeah. You're wrong because 2 of them are either a macro beer and 1 is a micro,
Okay.
or 2 is a micro and 1 is a macro. That fits the rules of the triangle test.
We'll talk later. But I think it's...
Look it up.
I think what I believe, because on account that number 1 is super bitter, so I think that's actually a micro, and then 2 and 3 are macro.
Okay. So 1 is the odd man out, and it's a micro.
Okay, got it. Doc.
Oh, up to me.
Oh, I have to say things.
Yes.
Thanks.
Well, now they can be statements, so that's cool.
There's definitely differences here. And
that's one statement.
I'm really close to you, where 1 and 2 are really close. And 3 is...
You mean like proximity to each other in glasses?
And 3 is something a little different. It's just got a little bit too much caramel.
So is number 3
stuff.
the odd man out a micro or a macro?
3 is the odd man out. 3 is just a macro.
It's a macro beer.
Okay.
So the other 2 are craft beers.
No, excuse me.
3 is the craft beer.
3 is the craft beer. 2 and 3. 1 and 2 are...
Don't lead the witness.
Well, it's confusing because 1 plus 2 equals 3.
Does it?
Yeah.
So...
Yes, because I'm sure he's making those associations right now.
I think we've interpreted this.
The way Doc was laughing that I really had to get my ass down here.
The big boys did 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 3 is a
big
micro.
boys,
Got
1
it.
and 2.
Okay, great.
Got it.
Small boys, number 3.
All right.
All right. Is that everybody's answer in front of us?
Yeah.
JP.
What about Beardy?
Beardy already knows. Yeah, he didn't get to play.
So, do you want the ratio of macros to micros first before we do beer reveals?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You would be surprised to know, maybe you wouldn't, I don't know.
Oh, the suspense is building.
And it rhymes.
That there are...
Dun, dun, dun.
There's 1 craft beer in this scene.
Okay. Not surprised.
There is 1 macro beer in this.
Uh-huh.
There is 1 Macro beer trying to be off-brand cool micro beer.
Okay. Got it. So 2 macros and 1 micro.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for JP.
Sneeze Norte has a question.
El Sneezo.
El Sneezo has a question using Moskowitz's microphone again.
Does that mean a macro beer that bought out a microbrewery? Or?
No, they didn't have to buy it out necessarily. It more means that there are several brands, like usually they're called something like Green River Brewing, but then at the bottom of the label it says like brewed and bottled at Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, but 10 Barrel just got bought, right?
Fairfield. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
By the way, you can expect hate mail from Green River Brewing.
Is that a micro?
There's probably like 8 of them.
Yeah, there's 12. Well, first of all, you chose a shitty name, and second of all, don't blame me. All right, so one of them.
Toxic River Brewing.
Okay, so which one then is the?
I have them here.
Micro beer.
Would you like for me to reveal?
Yeah, why not? Even though we've.
No,
Wait, let me put the camera on the correct angle.
You can just tell us.
Okay.
Are you going to do it one at a time?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
The macro, the big beer.
Which number is this?
1.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1 is a macro beer.
Wrong.
It's a big macro.
Wrong.
What?
Do you want me to? Because
no, it's not wrong. Number 1.
I put them in the order.
The first beer you brought out was the first one I poured.
I didn't do that. I put them in the order that we tasted them in.
I told you to put them in the
you
order.
You didn't tell me anything.
You guys are so organized.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Brewing Network.
You told me to bring them in the room.
I said I poured the beers and I said
yes.
Bring this one in.
Yes.
And then you go and then I'll bring this one in and you pour the next one and then by the time we switch the trays I'll bring that next one in. I go great. Make sure to put them in the order that I give them to you.
Why don't we do this?
And tell people not to move them.
Why don't we do this?
I can tell them what the beers are.
That's us.
Okay. As long as Warren knows.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, why don't we do that? And then you guys can find some consensus and make sure it is what it is. So Beardy, this one, which I'm calling number 1.
Number 1, correct.
Is what?
Is
a micro or macro?
It's a micro.
Okay.
It is.
Oh.
I got it right here. You ready?
Yeah, you can.
Ready for the
name,
reveal?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Anchor Lager.
California Lager.
Anchor seed?
Okay. I chose that as a macro, so already I'm wrong. Damn it.
Oh, you're wrong again.
All right, what's number 2, which would be this one right here, Beardy?
Is Schlitz. Actually,
Schlitz.
Remember the game we just played where you say if it's a macro or micro, and then I reveal the beer? Schlitz, everybody.
Yeah. All right, I called that one also a macro, so at least I got something right. Jesus.
Yeah.
And then this one right here
is I'll take this one. I'll take this
Nate
one.
gets special props because he actually called it.
And by the way, this third beer, just listeners playing along at home, this is the one I called a craft beer.
Right.
A micro, and it looks like I'm wrong.
This is the macro trying to be micro.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Batch 19 from Miller Coors.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Pre-prohibition style lager.
Interesting.
See, it makes sense, though, because, again, I'm saying earlier, too, that it seems that it was going towards micro.
Yeah.
That it was trying to, it had the acetaldehyde, that vegetal quality to it, but that it was trying to do that, but it's just not good.
But it's not good.
I do not want to drink this.
Does this have a bottling date on it? This is
that's a good question.
super old.
Yeah.
Did it also come from the bottom of JP's fridge?
It did not. January 06, 14.
Oh, okay, yep.
11 months.
Not good.
Yeah, well, no, so
it's a year old.
Is that the bottling date or the expiration date?
You got me? I don't know. That's a good question.
It's a date.
So, JP, how did we do?
I don't know because I was going off something else entirely. Oh, no, I do know. You're right.
Nicole is the only one who got it.
Master Cicerone!
That's right.
Still, go through the list. Let's see how we did just for fun, shall we?
So, Justin, you thought number 1 and 2 were the macros and 3 was the micro.
Correct. However, 1 was the micro.
Correct.
So, all right.
Doc agreed with you. 1 and 2 was the macro and 3 was the micro. So he got it wrong, too.
Yeah.
Nate thought 1 and 3 were the macros and 2 was the micro. But Nate did call sort of brand. I mean, it's Coors. It's not Miller, but, whatever.
He did call his shot.
Yeah.
Just probably like more than 80% of the beer brewed.
Yeah.
Scott as well thought 1 and 2 were the macro and 3 was the micro. Tasty thought 2 was the macro and 1 and 3 were the micros.
So he got one micro,
So
right?
Tasty thought
And the macro.
the expired batch 19 was a micro beer.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because it kind of...
As did I.
Is a right.
What style is that, by the way?
Pre-prohibition lager.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
And Angela?
And Angela thought 2 was the macro and 1 and 3 were the micro.
Got it. Well,
So
the
there you
point
go.
of this game was to show that we shouldn't be so beer snobby. We don't always know what the hell we're talking about between macro and micro beers.
Yes, my
Except for
favorite,
me.
My
Except
favorite,
for Nicole. That's right. Nicole can be as snobby as she prefers to keep being.
My favorite comments were that the Schlitz was a little too bitter. Maybe.
Yeah.
And
Schlitz
I
was
loved that.
number 2, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought that was amazing. I thought that was really great.
Yeah, it's too hoppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, after that, now do you see my dilemma? It was very hard, actually, to find a craft beer that's not really a craft beer. And I thought, after picking this one, and I thought this one was good, the Schlitz was good because it's sort of lesser known. They went back to a sort of pre-prohibition style lager, like their 1950s recipe, so it's a little more malt forward, has a little more hops than it used to, or any sort of like American light lager. And I thought it would throw off things pretty well.
Yeah, I think you did fantastic. A great game, good layout. My statement stands. Let me know next time. That way you don't have to have a whole on-air conversation of me being a douchebag.
Well, we wouldn't have to if Beardy
had
had
shut
said
his
anything.
goddamn mouth.
So now...
I thought I was helping.
I know you did. Now I know how Candy feels.
I think you did great. It worked out well, and we all screwed it up, except for Nicole. Had Nicole not come into the room at the last minute, it would have been total failure. Which was really the point of the game. I'm not like when JP presented the game and we were talking about it, I was like, this is good because we all sit around and talk about how we know the difference between macro beer and micro beer. So I thought it'd be fun to really put that to the test.
Yeah.
So I think it worked out well to let everybody just settle down a little bit. And remember that in a blind tasting where there's no marketing involved and all the other things that you see and you hear and sometimes taste, everything's different.
In
a blind taste is tough.
In WAD, we would call this a party wipe.
Yeah. I love WAD.
Are you going to get a keg of Schlitz on? Because I will actually be here.
At home, maybe.
Fuck.
Here at the bar, no.
It would sell. If you called it like the hop grenade fucking,
Grenadelets?
Grenadelets or some weird ever.
Hoplets?
Yeah, you would do it. He would sell. I love this.
Clits.
Yeah. Glitz.
Clits or clits?
Clits.
I almost said
I heard
Scott
clits
really
there.
likes
I almost said clits.
Oh, I got angry with the clits.
Yeah. Clits Pale Lager.
Yeah. That doesn't exist, right? That's just a mythical
It does
part.
now.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, good job, everybody. Round of applause for yourselves. That's a tough game to play. All right, Nicole, thanks for being the voice of reason, or at least somebody who can taste things in the room. Now, I don't know if you listened to the beginning of the show, Nicole, but we have forbidden Angela to use
The restroom.
The restroom. That's right. Because that's another fun game we like to play here.
It's just
Guys are
fun.
dicks.
Yeah.
And also from using crisp lemony zip until she's a master cicerone. We've decided she cannot use it until she's a master.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
There we go.
I'm also glad you're here because
I'm working on a trademark, so she might not be able to use it later
even
either.
then,
Yeah, so she can pay royalties on it.
well, for $5 a use, it's probably okay, I would think.
Yeah, something like that.
Something in there.
My people will talk to your people.
Also, I just want to point out, so Angela is the youngest certified cicerone, right? The youngest cicerone, official cicerone.
So there's another guy from Michigan that thinks he might have taken it like 2 months before you or something.
Oh, no.
21, 2 months, and like
Angela,
20
I will
days,
cut
so.
him for you. I will take him out. My family's
like,
Italian.
Just turned 21, like a few days after his birthday.
Yeah, but I
Took it on his birthday.
but I
Until he shows proof, I'm calling it bogus.
I think you guys should work together.
My point is, Angela's next target is to become the youngest master cicerone.
Or just master in general would be nice.
Angela, let me do your talking, okay?
All right, thank you.
Yes,
I don't know anything.
I'm now your PR person.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Justin's the
You're
master
in
of
big
marketing.
trouble now.
The youngest master cicerone, Nicole.
There you go.
Yeah, I think current age is 24.
Oh, you're not. I thought you were the youngest master. Oh,
No, Pat Fahey
He's
beat me.
25.
Oh, okay.
25, yeah.
Oh, so we can get.
Oh, damn it! I
got
thought
3
you were the
years.
youngest. Well, now my
Get
whole
cracking.
argument is
I
irrelevant.
know.
Yeah.
Get cracking, bitch.
Damn it. Doc.
So classy. You're so classy.
Doc.
Doc lives on a windy road, folks. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The end of that long, long winding road.
What else needs to be said? How about this? A quick break.
Yes.
That sounds fun, doesn't it?
Yes!
I think it's needed.
We'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll do some beer news, and then we'll get out of here. We'll let poor Angela go. We've abused her enough, and we'll start abusing Nicole instead. She just got here.
Fresh meat.
Yeah. Hang in there. It's the session. We've got Angela Steil still in the program. We got some beer news to do for you, and much, much more with JP and his beard. Hang in there. It's the session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters.
Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Introducing Clarity Firm from White Labs, an amazing tool for pro brewers and home brewers. Clarity Firm is an endoprotease that will reduce chill haze and increase the stability of your beer, and produces gluten-reduced beer. Clarity Firm is easy to use. Just add it when you pitch your yeast, and Clarity Firm will do its work during fermentation. When fermentation is complete, chill haze will already have been addressed. In addition, reduce the gluten content in beers made with barley and wheat with Clarity Firm. Most beers made with Clarity Firm will test below 20 parts per million, the current international standard for gluten-free. Better looking and more stable beer with the added benefit of reduced gluten, so you can pour your beer for more friends and customers. Why wouldn't you use Clarity Firm? Clarity Firm from White Labs. The reasons are crystal clear. Learn more at whitelabs.com.
Hey, Wooly, I'm beat. Can we find a nice tree to just hang out in for a while?
You're beat. I've been swinging through this forest for 50 years, ever since we first escaped from the circus. I know, but there's got to be more to life than exploring this creek and trying to populate the valley by copulating with loose, hairy girls. Marquis, stop. Look! What is that? It looks like a man-made treehouse with fresh food and craft beer.
Welcome to the Creek Monkey Tap House, boys. Grab a seat. Creek Monkeys drink free.
Awesome! The Creek Monkey Tap House in Martinez, California takes their mission of fresh food and beer seriously. They only serve locally raised beef and chicken, as well as local sustainable produce. It's better for you and the planet, and it just tastes better. The beer and wine at Creek Monkey Tap House are chosen with the same care for the highest quality and rotate frequently to make each visit an adventure. Swing on into the Creek Monkey Tap House and enjoy a new legend of amazing food, beer, and wine. The Creek Monkey Tap House, online at creekmonkey.com.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry, Uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering, but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam me in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite Bare Bones Club, where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Segmented, demented, fermented. It's the session.
Oh, Steel Panther, how I've missed you.
I think it's Steil.
We haven't played any. Sorry, Steil Panther. How I've missed you over the break.
Aw.
Yeah.
I think your fiance's going to kick your ass.
If I was your fiance, your nickname would be Steil Panther.
Yeah. Michael, did you hear that?
That's right. All right, we got a couple things left to do. We've been having a good time here at the Hop Grenade with Angela Steil, the universe's, the galaxy's youngest Cicerone.
Oh, well, there we go.
As far as we know.
Yeah, that's true.
Prove it.
Well, Cicerone program hasn't been exported.
But how much do we know, really?
Yeah, what do we really
Well, based on our last test, not very much.
Do we really know anything?
Yeah, clearly nothing. Nicole knows everything, and we know nothing, as usual.
Sounds like we're talking to
Welcome
Will
to Nathan's
Smith's
World.
kids. You ever read that interview? And
That's how it
Variety
goes
that
at
they
my
did?
house.
No.
They're homeschooled, and Will Smith is some weird pseudo existentialist. And the Variety did this interview with him, and they're like basically going, "Yeah, you can't think too much because once you're thinking, then you're thinking about your thoughts, and that's dangerous."
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure that we said that when we founded this country as well, and we started witch hunting.
Yeah. And like, I guess Willow, one of the girls or the guys,
The movie?
or whatever, the kid,
About the midget?
Yeah. He's the interviewer's like, the person's like, what books are you reading? This kid's like, various ancient writings.
Wow.
Like, you're 14, fuck you.
Ancient writings.
Ancient writings, various ancient writings.
I prefer Kanye West's take on books. Books be all wordy and shit. I believe was his quote.
But you can't think about your thinks because otherwise you're thinking about him. That's dangerous.
You can learn a lot from the people that thought the Earth was flat.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. You can learn a lot.
Yeah. All right. Just a couple things left to do. One is to thank Angela for being on the program with
you
us.
so much, guys.
It's been a lot of fun. And, yeah.
Here, chug this schlick.
Is that my reward?
Yes.
That's it.
Those of you who
punishment.
come in and make it through the whole show, I also have to say thanks for putting up with us. That's too. Yeah.
Although
Now-
we did limit our fart jokes a lot.
We did do that.
I'm pretty disappointed, actually.
Yeah.
I would have had some good ones. But
Well, we replaced them with racist jokes, so
Still
they
funny
were
every time.
Fine.
Yeah. God damn it, gets me every time.
You're my guy.
Now, before we get to the beer news, which is one of my favorite segments we always do, we've also got Kuhn back in the studio. He was here not too long ago with Shoe Bros Brewery, talking about a collaboration that you guys are doing.
Yeah, that's right.
And I believe you've brought some of the beer that you guys are brewing with you, or is this different beer?
This is different beer, yeah.
Oh, you brought it from home?
No.
Okay.
I brewed it in September as well as one of my own beers.
Okay.
And it is now not ready already, but more ready than it was then.
Ready enough. Well, that's right, because we wanted to taste the beer, and he's like, no, it's just not ready. But now at least it's...
Well, it has been in the bottle. It has been bottle conditioned, so it has reformulated for a month, but it's not ready yet. It still needs a couple of months to get.
But we're going to taste it anyway.
Yes.
Oh, I see. I like Kuhn's attitude. Fuck it, let's taste it anyway.
It's less not ready than it was before.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like a Brewing Network statement.
Yeah.
Well, we're sort of grown up, but not.
Yeah.
But we're more grown up than we were before.
Yeah, we're less immature than...
We're a little bit re-fermentated, but not fully.
Not as grown up as we will be in the future.
Yeah.
Right. Just give us a bunch of money. Fart on your penis.
Now, an interesting note about Kuhn. You know, of course, people always leave the show and they get feedback from friends and family and new fans.
Yeah.
And it turns out that people heard more about charcuterie on Kuhn's episode.
Oh,
thanks,
really?
Thanks to my rambling ass than they
Nice.
did about beer. And I don't know if that was a compliment or to you or not, Kuhn, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it was funny.
Because we talked about the giant plate of charcuterie is
Oh,
what ended
yeah.
up happening. And, you know, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Look,
For half an hour.
yeah. Yeah. The truth is, I just don't care about your agenda most of the time.
The show's 5 hours. So that was only half hour.
A fraction of the show.
Right.
Yeah. So stop complaining, assholes.
Right.
And by the way, go taste some charcuterie.
The other 2 hours were commercials.
Yeah. All right, well, let's try the beer. What is the beer, Koen?
Well, the beer is actually made in a Belgian way, but it's made in Saint Ramon, so it's made under installation. We imported some Belgian malts, Belgian hops, and we used Belgian yeast. It was hard to get Belgian water, so that's why I used the water from Saint Ramon.
That would be tough.
That would be very tough.
But did you adjust the water? Did you make... No, you just left it?
We just left it as it is, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Pass those chocolates around too, right?
I'm sorry, can I jump in? Did you taste the water first and was like, yeah, this is going to be fine? Or did you say, fuck it, we're just going to use the same water?
Well, actually, I tasted it in August, and I tasted it now, some days ago, and it is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, water in the East Bay. Yeah.
So it's very hard to adjust your recipe if the water supply company adjusts it without you knowing it.
Yeah.
That's your tasty. You've talked about that before. We kind of get this water report, but it varies all the time.
Yeah,
Because
if it varies
of
a
our...
lot, you should get your own kit so you can titrate your water the day you brew.
I see.
That's what, of course, you know, Colin does that up at...
Sure.
Up at his place every time you brew.
It just sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, you know, it's not that bad.
Okay.
No, you just have to be prepared to adjust it once you get to report.
Every time, yeah.
Yeah, it take like 15 minutes.
Okay.
In Belgium, are you guys on a well, or your water source doesn't change?
Well, it depends. Every brewery is different. So sometimes they have wells, sometimes they just use tap water and change it. Sometimes they just use the tap water without changing it. That depends on the brewery and what they want to make. So that's a bit of difference.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
So because we made a beer of 26, or a wort of 26 Plato, we needed a yeast who could handle the job, and it went from 26 to 1.5 Plato, so it is well attenuated.
Yeah, wow.
It took 5 weeks to ferment.
Okay.
Wow.
So which is a long time. Afterwards, it was sitting and lagering for a long time, and we only bottled it like a month ago. And before we did that, I added I had Mike add, because I wasn't there, some Belgian chocolate extract.
To the tank before bottling?
Yes.
Okay.
It is only in bottles, so half of it is now in casks.
Cask, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that will be there for a year. So the beer is called Tree of Life, and it was like a cool idea to taste it again after a year, like a year ring from a tree.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more ready than it was before.
Yeah, it is.
But not quite.
Yeah, well, like I have the experience with my chocolate beers that they all, for me, tend to get better because the chocolate melts out a bit.
Okay, yeah.
And now for me, this is a bit too much chocolate, but some people like it really the way it is now. Some other people like it after a year, which I prefer as well, because the chocolate melts out a little bit, and the stout character, the malt bitterness increases, and that's what I like. But some people like it different.
Yeah.
Depending on how you see it.
Sure.
And before I arrived, like a month before that, I asked Mike to take some vanilla beans, put it into organic cane sugar, and we used that after it was with the sugar for 4 months, and we used that sugar to re-ferment. So
it's like vanilla bean sugar.
Yes, but
cool.
But that vanilla flavor is not there yet, because that might come while it is still re-fermenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting kind of like salted chocolate flavor as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, if you have the chocolate now, I brought chocolates from Belgium.
Oh, good.
Angela's not eating any chocolate, but I will consume them for her.
Pass it around.
Yeah.
I stuffed my suitcase with 8 kilos of it, so this is probably one of the last boxes.
Steil Panther is still losing weight since leaving New York, but
she has to get back to her birth weight.
But she would love 12 ounces.
Minus 3 just on the hips.
Oh, sorry. I had that backward. 9 pounds, 12 ounces, or I don't know what. What do babies weigh?
Call her fat?
I don't even know.
Rude.
Let's get some chocolate.
Let's do that.
I think I said cask, but it's at barrels. It's in barrels now, not in casks.
Oh, okay.
A cask is like something where you pour beer out.
Yeah,
no,
cask would be stainless.
No. It's in barrels.
They're in wooden barrels still.
Yes,
okay.
it's in barrels, and it's in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels.
That's going to be fantastic.
We didn't want to use like bourbon, because bourbon and this, it's already so boozy. So we wanted to. It's already for me a bit like wine-ish. So an extra wine touch with the Cabernet Sauvignon in a year will be perfect. So
what percent alcohol is it?
Now it's 13.8.
Okay,
big boy.
This is what?
So how old is this? Is this beer already over a year
almost
old?
14, yeah.
No. I made it in beginning of September, and we put it into the bottle about a month ago.
It tastes really good for being that high alcohol and young.
Yes, but
I would have not guessed.
Yeah, not at all.
The barrels are going to do this beer wonders, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah. Were they fresh out of the winery, or had they had beer or something in them before?
No. Fresh out of the winery.
Okay.
And apparently, I don't know where exactly that Mike got them, but it's apparently north of San Ramon or in the environment. I don't know exactly, but they are local.
And so are they American oak then, you think? Or
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I think it's going to taste fantastic.
Probably
I like
French.
it now. I'm on the side. You said there might be two sides, too chocolatey and sides that like when the chocolate drops out a little bit. I think I'm on the drop out a little bit side. I'd like it to mellow out just a little bit. I don't think it tastes too boozy, especially being almost 14%. You can taste it, but it's not hot.
It's not offensive.
Yeah, but you have been drinking all evening.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, the man makes a good point.
I haven't.
If you have it early in the morning, then it's really boozy.
Well, Jesus, Kuhn.
How do I know that?
Yeah.
I think water's real boozy, though. So.
Early in the morning, yeah. So Schlitz, which was in our triangle tasting,
Yeah, you want a premium American beer.
Yeah. If you're looking to take something home to your friends, we have one can of Schlitz left. So
we call this the Foreigner's Welcome Pack.
Schlitz really sounds American.
Yeah.
You want to try it?
I agree with you.
No, thank you.
No, it's actually quite delicious. Give it to him.
Stop force feeding him.
Give it to him.
Now you
To me,
sound
it sounds
American.
German,
Give it to
but-
him. It'll open his eyes.
Make him do it. All right.
Surprised at you.
All right. Well, Kuhn, stay with us if you would.
Well, I can be back in a year, and then we can taste the
that'd be
one.
great.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
I invited myself to come here now.
You can invite yourself anytime, Kuhn. We're happy to have you. And is the beer going to sit in the barrels for a year before you do anything with it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you'll come back and taste it and decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe brew some stuff together, because now I made with Mike a double.
Yeah.
Which will be ready in beginning of January. But
I love
that's
it.
another story.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
No,
more
anytime.
collaborations and more things from me alone.
You're always welcome, and thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
the beer.
And
Don't go anywhere.
chocolates.
We got just a couple things left to do. We're going to do a bit of beer news. How do you guys like it with the chocolate pairing?
I took 2 chocolates.
You did?
I did too. I took 2 chocolates too.
You are never going to make it as a model in New York.
No. But in New Jersey,
Again.
watch the fuck out.
Is that a thing, being a New Jersey model?
I don't know.
Now it
is
is.
now, yeah.
And just like, yeah, thanks.
Lower standards across the river.
Thanks, I'm going to be a New Jersey model.
I feel threatened.
Yeah. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Oh, he was talking about JP being a model, not Angela.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was directed totally
Yeah,
at JP.
no, he wasn't being
not,
that mean.
Not the guest.
And they wouldn't be mean to a girl guest, just the girl regular.
That's true, yeah. And male guests.
Yeah.
What just
I feel
happened?
like
People just call
somebody
themselves
said
regular.
something, but I wasn't really listening. So
How was the beer with the chocolates?
Wonderful.
A nice pairing?
Oh, yeah, great.
Came out better?
Having any?
It was nice.
And no. I'll just end up chewing on chocolate like the rest of you
I'll
for the
take your
next,
piece
for the
right
next
here.
15
There you
minutes.
go.
See? There we go. That's you.
Well, I
Helping
think
you out.
technically he's allotted 2, so I should probably have this.
All right, let's do a little bit of beer news, and we'll come back to our tasting when we're done.
It's the Brewing Network's Beer News, brought to you by homebrewstuff.com.
Well, the inaugural Beer Mile World Championships were held last week in Austin, Texas. I've brought this up a couple times.
Is that the one Lance Armstrong couldn't do?
Yes, and it's the one that James the Beast Nielsen, he'd broken the hallowed 5-minute mark earlier this year, and so they had the first ever World Championship. So here's what happened. The women were up first. There were 12 of them, and there was a big crowd all along the track. This was a serious event. They even televised it and had an announcer and a color guy call the whole thing.
A colored guy?
What?
Yeah. Moscow. Oh, a color guy. Sorry.
Right
color commentary.
Right you are, Cletus.
Okay.
Everyone heard something other than what you said.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, God.
That's a color guy. Like in baseball, you have the guy who does play-by-play and the pitch down the pipe. And then you have the other guy who goes, well, and I'll tell you something about that pitch. He really wound up farther than he should have. That's color guy.
Right you are, Cletus.
Carry on.
Awesome.
In the crowd, the women are up now. The favorite going in was Chris Kimbrough. She's a 45-year-old Austin local, a mother of 6. Her friends in the crowd were wearing shirts saying, "You just got beat by a mother of 6." She had set the women's world record back in October, 6 minutes, 28 seconds.
Oh.
But she was struggling in the world championship race. By the third beer, she was looking like Beardy looked when he was chugging from Der Stiefel.
Is it wrong to ask what size the mother of 6 was?
She was just tiny, petite woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to run a mile in
she's a runner.
Well, I'm asking for two reasons. For one, is your 6 children, and 2, you have to drink the whole way through, so I feel like size matters.
Yeah,
like the bigger you are, the more chance you have of. I know that normally running, small and petite is good, but not on the beer mile.
Yeah.
But you're saying this is a small woman.
Yeah, I mean, they're all built but petite. They're runners.
All right.
Isn't beer good for lactation?
I don't know.
I think it gives the baby nutrients.
That is a total wives' tale.
I drink a lot of beer. I've never lactated.
A bottle a day,
that's all I can.
A bottle of Jack a day keeps the babysitter away.
I can't see your nipple perfectly right now,
I
Justin.
do. My nipples.
That is the first thing I said to him this morning when he walked in.
I ordered this shirt specifically for my nipples. A lot of times you order like for your waist size. I ordered my nipple size.
Next time, order it tight enough so you can see a hair pattern.
Oh, I can go a size lower.
Oh, we can go small, buddy.
Carry on.
So Miss Kimbrough, it took her 32.3 seconds to finish beer number 4. She stood no chance against Elizabeth Herndon, a 29-year-old professor and marathon runner. She downed her 4th beer, a New Belgium Fat Tire. Way to go, Elizabeth. In 21.4 seconds, she smashed the world record, 6 minutes, 17 seconds, and Kimbrough was 4th. So congratulations to Elizabeth Herndon, the new female world record holder for the beer mile.
Wow.
And then just to give you guys a little taste of this was a serious production. I mean, this is the TV broadcast.
And they're off. And watch Marcus Lewing in the Sweden jersey. He may be one of the favorite drinkers out there, but it is Corey Gallagher,
this is the men's
it
event.
Is Lewing, and it is Brian Anderson, your top 3. It looks like Lewis Kent stepped up in there. 6.14.
This is their chugging.
Whoa! That is fast. 8th place. 8 seconds. That was Michael.
Who was the excited guy who was like?
that was Cletus, the colored guy.
That was the colored guy.
Look at Kelly Hannon pulling up on the inside. A full field there behind.
Anyway, so the men's event was full of Bud Light Platinum. Now, James Nielsen, the record holder, he did not participate in this event, quite controversially.
Wait, hang on 1 second. The women's event had Fat Tire, but the men's event had Bud Light Platinum.
You got it.
Which is higher alcohol,
How
too.
did that work out? Like, what was the...
The criteria was that it had to be 12 ounces. It had to be at least 5% ABV.
Okay.
So there were guidelines, but you could choose whatever beer.
So each runner could choose?
Yeah.
Women wanted better beer.
Okay. It wasn't like it was sponsored.
No.
Okay.
So Nielsen didn't participate. He said he could not. He said he physically could not make it that week. That was his quote. And others, of course, interpreted his absence as a clear indicator that he couldn't defend his title because there were tons of people saying his title wasn't legitimate in the first place, if you'll recall. Anyway, so the men's race, the gun fired and blue bottles tilted everywhere. And Corey Gallagher was. I love this. He was wearing a white glove on his beer chugging hand.
Oh,
he downed the
like
first
Michael
one.
Jackson.
6.1 seconds. He downed it. Coasted through the first lap, 67 seconds. And there was a guy in jorts. Who eventually took the lead, but nobody could drink like Gallagher. It did not take him longer than 10 seconds to finish any one single beer, and with the final lap in sight, he demolished his 4th beer faster than his previous 3, 7.3 seconds.
JP, 10 seconds, that's a JP time right there. He could open the throat and shove it down.
I think I did it in 7.
Wow.
And you couldn't, no shotgun holes, no nothing. You just had to open the tab and drink from it. No
right. You had to drink like a normal person.
So anyway, Mr. Gallagher rounded the last turn well ahead of the pack. The crowd screamed as he looked on pace to break 5 minutes, but he crashed through the finishing tape at 5:23. 5:00.23. So he didn't break the world record, but Gallagher declared post-race, quote, "This is the world record. James Nielsen is a cheat and a fake."
Why?
Well, because he chugged beers in like 4 seconds. It was videotaped, but he chugged them so fast, people were saying, oh, well, maybe he somehow defizzed the beer. There was foul play suspected.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, defizzing the beer, that's smart. Make it nice and flat. Easy to go down.
Flat and warm makes it easy.
Yeah.
So who knows? So we got the first World Beer Mile Championships are in the books.
I love that there's controversy over this ridiculous event. I don't know, he cheated. Whatever. He was on steroids.
It's still impressive. I mean,
defizz the beer.
That's what they think. Yeah, that's what they accused him of.
Recanned his own
Yeah, exactly.
beer.
I went to visit Sully, and we recanned these beers after I defizzed them.
Sure. You going to participate in the next beer mile,
Loosen
Nate?
the cap a little bit for a couple days.
I think you should, Nate.
Anyway, it's. I mean, 5 minutes is really impressive. It's real damn hard to run a 5-minute mile.
Oh, yeah.
As is. I mean, stopping to chug beer, that's impressive stuff.
I do, what's a mile? 4 laps, right? I do that 1 lap in 5 minutes.
Oh, I don't even think that's true.
Maybe 10.
I stop and take a break.
I think, JP, with a little training, I think you're the guy amongst us who could win the beer mile.
Have you seen me run?
No,
I've seen you chug.
fast.
So you have half of the thing that you need. So all we need and the running thing, you can train.
I don't know. I get shin splints.
Jesus. When have you ever had shin splints? When did you ever run enough to get a splint?
I tried to play ultimate frisbee back in my heyday.
Yeah, 1993-ish.
Yeah, some of us weren't hitting our heyday when some of us were being bonded.
Yeah,
late bloomers.
That was.
Yeah.
Angela was at her healthiest weight in 1993 as well.
She could have got a contract like
Modern agencies would have taken me then.
Peaked early.
Not enough experience.
They were like, you know what? I know there's something about her. She's real small and thin.
She's kicking. She's got some jump.
She's got a different look. I don't know about the no hair thing, but there's something about her.
Have you seen the legs on that one?
Those hips are narrow.
Is her diaper full? I don't know. She wears it so well.
Yeah. And talk about lack of fabric. We're talking about like a little square to cover her whole body.
And she's pliable, so we can fit her into binding the things.
Let's put her on the bikini side. How about that?
All right, done. What are we talking about?
What else you got, Moscow?
Here's a sciencey one. Food scientists in Belgium claim to have hit upon a technical solution to gushers. Magnets. So gushing, I'm just going to read straight from the article, and God knows if they have this right. But they say gushing happens when fungi infect the barley grains in a beer's malt base. Microorganisms latch onto the barley with surface proteins called hydrophobins. During the brewing process, these hydrophobins can attract carbon dioxide molecules produced by the mash barley as it ferments, thus overcarbonating the beer. So brewers try to tamp down the gushing by adding hops extract, they say, an anti-foaming agent that binds to the proteins first. Warren, you're shaking your head?
Well, this is the part that the article lost me to. The first part I couldn't really argue with, neither here nor there, because we all know about gushing, and we know it's usually caused by some sort of infection. But they were describing like the science, and so I thought, all right, well, maybe that's just describing the infection. Then it got to the part about adding hop extracts to
as an anti-foaming.
However, I still don't know, because they're talking about Belgian breweries specifically. If you go on in the article, they just say, so Belgian brewers have been doing this, and now Belgian brewers have noticed this.
We've got a Belgian brewer right here.
Do you guys add hop extracts to keep down the overcarbonation?
You ever heard of that,
the
Cone?
gushing of beer?
No. Cone's shaking his head.
No.
I showed you the article to see what it says, so...
Exactly what it says. Yeah. Anyhow, go on past the science, because there's still a point to be made.
When these Belgian scientists applied a magnetic field to malt infused with hops extract, the magnets dispersed the anti-foaming agent into tinier particles. So those smaller particles were much more effective at binding to more hydrophobins, blocking carbon dioxide and decreasing gushing. They're saying they're set to report all this in the next month's Journal of Food Engineering. So during tests in a real brewery, the magnets decreased excess foaming so effectively, they say, that brewers needed much lower amounts of hops extract, a potential cost-saving measure.
So the only other, the problem with this is that you could just brew clean beer.
Yeah, we launched the space shuttle to find out you overprimed it.
Right.
It's a malt quality issue, not a fermentation or beer quality issue.
So that's what the article said.
But it's a malt quality issue. The fungus is growing on the malt.
That's what the article says, yeah.
So, but I really don't think people making craft beers have to worry about this. I think this applies to beers that are like 5 IBU.
But the malt's on the hot side. You just boil it. Doesn't matter.
Or add magnets.
I think it's also
I think if you put magnets in the beer, that's what they're saying, right?
It's the new widget!
You now put magnets in the beer.
Yeah, so, hit your refrigerator, peel all the kids' artwork off, and throw those magnets right in your beer.
I'm gonna surround all my homebrew bottles with magnets now.
That'll solve all your brewing problems.
The flavor of 2015 goes to metallic.
Now there's a use for all that old computer equipment that we're recycling.
Exactly.
We just store all our beer in the old computer cases.
Saving the world brewing beer.
There's an old hard drive magnet in every bottle.
That's right. What else you got?
All right, well, it's very late, so I'm going to wrap it up with a decidedly unscience-y story. A 73-year-old man from Friendship, Wisconsin, was pulled over back in October.
Fuck that guy.
For a
move there.
He was
That's
pulled
a
over
place.
for a broken taillight and erratic driving. When officers approached his car, they smelled alcohol on the man's breath and saw that his eyes were bloodshot. So the officer asked him how much he'd had to drink. The man attempted to convince the officer that his drunken state was due to beer-battered fish he had eaten at a fish fry, a common tradition in Wisconsin. Shockingly, the officers didn't believe him, and he was arrested and given his 10th DUI. That is the news brought to you by our friends at homebrewstuff.com. Go to Homebrew Stuff. It's December. It's Christmas. They're doing free shipping on orders over $59 site-wide. They're also running a special for full bags of grain, starting at $66 for 2-row base malt delivered to the lower 48. Homebrewstuff.com.
Hang on, I'm still writing down my DUI excuse.
10th DUI.
Beer battered.
I think you get
fish.
party plates after 10.
There's also beer battered onion rings. You can add that to your list.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. If we put all of those on the menu at the Hop Grenade.
Officer, it's a Wisconsin tradition.
And we can serve minors, because if they get pulled over, they have excuses.
It's also
nowhere
fine.
else. It's only in Wisconsin.
Which is Angela's excuse for why she's such a drunk, is that she grew up in New York and the public transportation.
Right.
I got that right. That was the
I'm
interview,
sure
right?
Friendship, Wisconsin has a prime public transportation.
I can't wait to go.
That sounds about right.
I'm going to move to Friendship.
Everyone drives each other home.
Yeah, it's nice.
Friendship.
It's a hayride.
No, there's one guy with a tractor, and he just takes everybody home at the end of the night.
Yeah, his name's Bart.
I'm tired of everyone living between my house and my farm. Fuck off. Move already.
All right, despite the fact that Tasty's getting a massage by Nicole Ernie, I feel like we should wrap up the show. What do you think, Tasty?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That's the widest I've seen his eyes the entire night.
It's interrupting his commentary.
Yeah. He can't even text right now.
No. It's fucked.
I feel sorry for broke arm Tasty over here.
Oh, broke arm. When does that cast come off,
It comes
man?
off Thursday.
As soon as he gets home.
Oh, that was quick.
It'll be great.
What was that, 3 weeks or something?
He's got the hacksaw. He's going to take it off.
Wow, you don't have osteoporosis at all. JP was wrong about you.
Yeah, what? Wait, you told him?
I'm feeling fine.
3 weeks? That's quick. You're like a 21-year-old scissor.
Yeah, I got the not even 21
Bounce back like nothing ever happened.
Oh, yeah.
Is that on the jack in hand or no? You're good. That's
No, it's the other hand.
No.
Not that I know. Not that I have a video camera in
Not that I
Tasty's
know.
bedroom.
Going downhill.
But he is right-handed, so.
You did predict a meltdown.
Yeah. All right, we're out of here. Angela, thanks so much for being on the program. You've been wonderful.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, guys.
Come back anytime or call in or whatever you want to do to
Email
be
or
associated.
You're going to regret saying that now, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, maybe so.
Fax us.
Thank you, guys.
That's been a lot of fun.
We do have
Also, you can find Angela if you're looking for great beer at the restaurant. She
Gravity Tap House and Grill. Yeah.
thank you in Grand Rapids.
At the
that
thing.
place that you work in that state.
Place and the thing. And the,
Whoever signs her checks. I don't know.
In the place.
Whatever.
Anything else?
Twitter game?
Oh yeah. What is our Twitter game wrap up, JP?
Well, our Twitter game wrap up is that Beardy Claus is now coming to town because the elves have chosen him as the Santa replacement.
Yeah.
And I want to know what kind of weird stuff that he was bringing the little nice girls and boys this year.
What do we get?
Lucas says he thought he brought kittens, but they were really baby raccoons.
Okay.
Which could happen.
He is blind.
Yeah. Half Monk says brewing classic styles in Braille.
Good idea.
Thank you very much. Songful Chris says nothing because he couldn't find his big bag of presents.
Good idea.
So that's pretty funny. Our friend Pete the Dink says a bucket of trail mix.
I do like trail mix.
See? There you go.
It's in my lunch every day.
Does he know you or something?
I don't know him.
Our metal friend Brandon Zeddy says beard lice. Brings everybody beard lice. Jeff Greer writes the Blickman fake ID. It is updated with a new pic and birth date every year until you're ready to graduate to all grown.
Okay.
Matt Hutchins Haney says an awkward boner. Which I imagine.
I feel like you brought me that before, Beardy. So maybe
Is that me inspiring that gift?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
is
I
that me
think
just
you-
well?
Yeah,
Like
you
your
show
brain
up
just
and
handing
you
it.
Right, right.
you give somebody else's.
Right, yeah, or giving. Yeah, I don't know.
Good question.
Imagine it's
Giving
awkward
mine? I
for
don't
a little girl to get an. Conrad B says Justin's homebrew.
Oh,
That should be really gross.
That would be mean.
Keith
The naughty
Allen,
list.
Keith Allen says Beardy delivers nothing. Like a blind moth, he circled the Christmas tree at the North Pole and never made it anywhere else.
That was 140 characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Snow Coog says possibly nothing. Last I heard, he was appealing the FAA's rule to ground him because he's blind.
Okay.
That's it.
Awkward Boner. That's our winner tonight. Thank you very much for playing our Twitter game. Send an email to Bevo at thebrewingnetwork.com, and she will send you a prize for winning the best Twitter game ever.
Please label it Awkward Boner.
Thank you.
In the subject,
parentheses, not from Sam.
Exactly. Then it goes into Bevo's Sam folder.
Not spam.
Right.
Sam.
Where Bevo answers, I know, it's always awkward.
I'll be
Well, I
home
don't even
never.
look at them.
See you
I
tonight.
pretend they're not there.
That's why it's awkward.
That's
sounds
not
like, sounds like, hey,
Oh,
Bevo,
look, I got it.
Bevo, I got it again.
Yeah, I have it again.
That's not a gun at your back.
What is this thing? Sam, get your water pistol out of the bed.
Hey, Bevo, it's here again. Hey, Bevo.
Hey,
Bevo.
hey,
I know you're awake. I can see you moving.
Hey,
I feel you breathing.
I see you walking away. Hey.
Yeah. I see you in the shower. I know you're awake. Let's get the fuck out of here. Angela, thanks so much for being on the program.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with our last show of the year. It's our Christmas show where we're going to have Dave Logston from Logston Brewing on the show. I think we're going to taste some of his wonderful sour and farmhouse beers. I'm excited about that, Moscow.
Me too. Dave's going to be on Skype. We got a whole bunch of his head brewer and a bunch of the other crew are coming in studio.
they're
but
coming.
Dave can't
Okay,
make
cool.
it, unfortunately, but they'll all be on.
Beautiful. So come on out. We're going to have a lot of games, a lot of giveaways. So come join us or tune in or whatever you got to do. JP, get us out of here, will you please?
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Angela Steil Panther, the Empire's youngest
Style Panther.
I know, I fucked it up. I looked and I was like, before I start this, I need to say it right, and I fucked it up. The Empire's youngest Cicerone joined us for beer talk and fashion talk. You can find her at the Gravity Tap House Grill in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or you can reach her through her website at angelastyle.com. Follow JP on Twitter at Major Jip and talk about beer and video games and Disneyland and cats and anger and failure and boredom. Warren was here filling his sack with toys made by Doc. For some good beer insight on homebrew info, follow Nate Smith and Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at TC McD. Production director on this session has been Push Eject. Today's show has been produced by Scott Moskowitz. JP was drinking Society beer all night long and wasn't even paid for it. Bevo was slowly poisoning us, slice by delicious slice. And your host was Justin Crossley. Be sure to
Winning the race, JP does great as his charity.